Good morning, everyone. It is 10:31 a.m. here in the UK. It might be night time in Australia or very early in the morning in the US and Canada. So, hello, everyone. I have sent a link out to someone, so hopefully they will be joining us very soon. Hello, the one viewer. How are you? Please feel free to come in the chat and say hello. I wasn't supposed to be doing the coffee morning today, and as the title suggests, I'm standing in for Mr. eaglevp. Got a message from him this morning that he wasn't able to do the coffee morning, so asked if I would stand in, so I'm here. Hi, Mel. How are you? Yes, Mr. eaglevp should have been hosting the coffee morning today, but unfortunately got a message this morning saying wasn't able to do it, so I kindly stepped in for him. Oh, you were just about to get some sleep. Well, thank you for coming in and saying hello. I appreciate it very much. Same as I say, I have sent an invite. Oh, you're tired bit here. Same as I say, I mean, if you're tired, I do appreciate you popping in to say hello. But I also understand, you know, that if you've got work, etc., you know, you need to get your sleep. So yes, the hay fever is playing up something chronic this morning. Oh, you were supposed to join him today, was you? Hey, technical channel. Well, I can send you an invite if you want to come on briefly, Mr. Mel. So as I say, I got a I think it's not coming up with your if you wanted to put your email address or something in, Mel, I'll invite you in for a minute. I did the invite thing in the box, but it wasn't coming up with you yet. There you go. The invite has been sent. So I just deleted that, just, you know, if good morning, Mr. Mel. How are you?
Just tired, but I said I would be here, so I'm sure.
Yeah, I didn't get any explanation as to why. He just says he can't do the coffee morning, and so I says I'll stand in for you. So obviously I'm here.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I said I would be here one of these days eventually. So
yeah, so it's very early in the morning there, isn't it? I mean, it's only 10:30, so it must be around 5:30.
Yeah, it's 5:30 here. So what's going on with you, Mrs. P?
Not a lot really. I did a baking vlog yesterday. I did a vlog for a giveaway yesterday, but Mr. P didn't get a chance to upload it onto here. Hey, hi Equinox. Yeah, so basically is posting them both later on. So when it obviously is at work now. So yeah, and it's quite an unusual giveaway. I will say that. That's all I'm saying. Very unusual. So we're
nothing wrong with that.
Happening for a little while.
Well,
it was something, you know, same as us, as everybody does, like Amazon gift cards and whatever. And I wanted to do something unusual. So yes, it's it is quite unusual.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's it. So all will be revealed later because she's going to put that up later.
All will be revealed.
Yeah, all will be revealed. The same as I says, I'm not going to say sort of what it is or anything because obviously that's going to spoil it, when the vlog comes up. But
Yeah, no, don't want to pressure you. We want to save the surprise.
Say,
Yeah.
But there's obviously there's. Are you working later then, Mel?
No, I'm off today.
Oh, you're off today, are you?
Yeah.
Hey, we've got Kate in the house as well.
Hello.
Kate. Okay, this is the second time I'm on with her.
Yeah. She's been having a few internet problems over the past few days. So she's back up and running.
I'm back.
So we're up to 7 viewers. So I've just been telling Mel about I filmed the giveaway vlog.
Ooh.
And Mr. P will be publishing it later.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I've just been saying to Mel, it's unusual, but I sort of can't reveal any more than that.
It's unusual. Is it that bum squirter upper thingy that you use for the jam donuts?
No.
Guys, it is.
That was a good video, by the way.
It won. Credits to that video.
And also I made the red velvet cake yesterday, so that will be.
I actually can't wait to see it either. I'm so excited for that one.
That's good.
Yeah. So,
I'm starting to get hungry now.
It was a challenge because I did one last week, Mel, and it was a disaster. Yeah. It was an epic fail. So I says I'm not going to let it defeat me, as you know.
Yes.
I don't give up at the first. Equinox says, "Is it a mankini?"
That's funny.
Well, that'd be biased towards the men, wouldn't it? So
no, it's okay. It's okay.
Is it that their brand of chocolate?
I mean, you sort of can't buy a mankini if the ladies want to. But it's not just for the UK. It is.
Okay.
It is worldwide.
Umbrella, yay!
That's funny.
But to be fair, a girl could pull off a mankini.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't think I could. But anyway, same as I say, it's. I'm not sort of making a clause. It's got to be, only the people in the UK can enter. I have thrown it out worldwide. So
it's international. So.
Pardon?
So it's international. So why not, right?
Yeah. Well, same as I said, obviously when you post it out abroad, you've got packaging and postage, but it's sort of, I says it's sort of giving the UK people an unfair advantage. So I throw it out there and says basically anyone can enter.
You gotta.
Both genders can use it, and it's universal.
Well, yes, I suppose, yeah.
Right. Okay, that doesn't narrow it down at all.
Will be revealed later.
I don't want to wait. Please. We'll not tell anyone. Shh. Everybody in the chat pretend you didn't hear it. Shh. I won't tell anyone.
I'm not telling anyone. I'm not letting any. Not letting any details out. Same as they say, patience is a virtue.
Yes, but patience. Bye.
Giggles says hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
So yes, I mean I don't know sort of what time it will be posted, but Mr. P don't finish work till 4 o'clock, and Betty just fell out the sky the other night. So, Mr. P's first drone, Betty.
I should put a video together of the drone flying and its footage to like the Titanic music or something.
Well, he has been communicating with the DJI because, same as he says, he hadn't took Betty out for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And we went shopping Sunday, and he put the P4 drone in the boot, but when we got to the park, he couldn't get a signal. So we came home, got the meeting for the Sunday lunch, and he says, I think what I'm going to do, he says, I'm going to put Betty on charge, like the battery and the remote and everything. He says, and I think I'm going to give her a fly out a little bit later on. And he didn't leave here till about 6:45 p.m, obviously at night time. And I got a panic phone call. He were right in a panic, I'll tell you, because he said he'd got her up. He sort of didn't let her go out of sight, and because he was in a park, and it just fell from the sky, no warning or anything. So he were in a panic in case he'd injured someone. And that were, and I kept saying, now calm down, have a cigarette or something, calm yourself down. I said, do you know, sort of roughly where she went down? And he says, yeah. And he says, oh, well, look, well, if it's dropped on somebody, he says, and what, please come and I get arrested. It were going through all these panic sort of stations.
It's good to be prepared.
He went over to where he thought she'd come down, and there was this lady with a little boy, and she said he'd got one of these like little racing toy drone things, and she was actually just about to take a photograph and post it on Facebook.
Yeah, who owns this drone?
He sort of says, "Are you all right?" It didn't. She says, "No." She says, basically, it was already here on the ground when she found it. Marcel Harding in the house. So yeah, I think he breathed a sigh of relief when he knew that it hadn't like physically hit anybody, and he thanked the lady and everything. But all like the gimbal where the camera is, that were all like dangling down. One of the things was broken. Hey, I got a message this morning, DJing. He didn't give any explanation. He just says he can't do the coffee morning today. So I says, do you want me to stand in? So he did. And if you want an invite up, DJing, could you please put your email in the chat and I will invite you in.
Anybody got hay fever? I bung with it.
You got an echo. You got an echo.
Me?
I can't hear an echo. No, I can't hear no echo.
Oh, I heard an echo. I don't know why.
Could you say that again, Kate? I didn't hear what you said.
Is anybody like suffering with hay fever? I'm absolutely bummed to the eyeballs with it.
Okay, no, you're better now. You're better now.
Okay then, Ian.
No, so I'm on antihistamines at the minute, but my eyes keep running, so it looks like I'm crying, but I'm not. It's like
I've been on antihistamines all year long, and I'm still the same. I was saying this morning, my nose is itching like.
It could just be the excitement of the live stream. You never know.
Crying, so happy to be back.
Yeah. Mrs. P is a superstar.
I don't think they're cracked out to be these antihistamines, because some as I say, I take one every day all year round, and I got them this morning. I've got like sniffles and my nose is itching.
I'm seeing mine sniffing.
So
the sun's out and people are watching. You're going by and your eyes are all puffy. And you're like, and they're like, "Why have you got a cold?" It's like, it's not. I've got a
well, I mean, look at Vlog from the Bog the other day. I mean, he was having to wear sunglasses, Mel, because he'd not took his antihistamine, and honestly, he were having to wear sunglasses. His eyes were that red. It were terrible. Were Barry. His eyes were terrible. And yes, I've got my coffee.
I know how that is.
Area here. This is where I get it. All here feels all heavy and. But
you see, having said that, I do suffer from sinuses as well. So, but mine's sort of not the. Mine's more like an itchy nose, and then I. Hey, Marie's in the house.
Hi,
Marie.
I like her. She's awesome.
Well, I'm
There's a
still
lot of cool people out there.
I'm still waiting. I've just put a new video. Oh yeah.
Forgive me if I'm in and out. I'm still here with you.
Yeah, you're all right.
I'm still here.
All right, I'm just messaging DJ in.
That's cool.
He did say to Keith that he would come on this morning. So I've just messaged him, you know, saying that you can send it through like Facebook Messenger. So yeah, but it's really warm here. It's going to be in the 20s, which is like converted into Fahrenheit. It's about 7 in the 70s. So they did say it was going to be another warm one today. So
that's cool. That's definitely cool. Well, I'm trying to think of what's the conversion. Yours is Celsius, so what is it gonna be like 18 degrees Celsius or something out here? I don't know.
Well, that's it. I mean, for the UK, I mean, in the high 20s is actually warm for us.
Yeah. So it's gonna be somewhere around there, you know. So it's like 82 degrees out here in New York today.
Oh wow!
With rain, it's gonna be rainy, muggy.
They did sort of say on the weather forecast here in the UK towards the end of the week it was going to be, you know, like changing. So and we were going to get some rain.
Well, what do you think about this weather?
Oh, so I was to say, there's no wonder there's so many bugs floating about, because you're getting like the glorious sunshine like this and the warm weather, and then the next minute at night time it's getting cold and then it's raining. So there's no wonder there's so many, you know, there's so many bugs going about. So I've just had a message from DJ in. He says he's got to nip out for 20 minutes and he'll be back in about 20 minutes. So
Nothing wrong with that.
That's it. So
I'm here for a little something. I don't know how long I'll be here, but I'm in and out.
same as I say, if you need to if you need to pop off, then you know, obviously it's very early in the morning there, so if you need to pop off, Mel, you know, I do understand.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay as long as I can.
Yeah, I do appreciate and thank you for joining. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, you supported me, you and Mr. P, Eagle, Random Life.
Well, that's it. We all support each other.
Yeah. You know, vlog from the blog, you know, all the UK people.
We were doing the Eurovision thing on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah. I know Random, she was doing the Eurovision thing. Last week?
We went on Barry's Vlog from the Bog channel on Saturday night, 4 hours.
Wow.
We sort of basically sat here watching the Eurovision Song Contest, and basically everyone says, well, we'll not be doing that next year. It was an absolute debacle, to be quite honest with you.
As long as you had a debacle together.
I need to go watch this and see what happened.
Well, it weren't so much. Most of the songs were absolutely horrendous. One that won it was absolutely horrendous. And basically, they waited for the UK to come on. She was on in 9th, and some idiot ran onto the stage and snatched the microphone out of her hand.
Oh my God.
And that was, you know, who else were they going to run up on stage and nick the microphone off? The UK. So
yeah, they wanted the spotlight.
So apparently he's been arrested. He was one of these activists, something to do with the Nazis.
Oh
so
my God.
All I know about it, you know, I don't really know a lot about
it. You must not sing.
You know what I
Oh
mean?
my God.
Oh gosh, I've heard it all.
Yeah, that's basically all I know about it. It was one of these activists, and it was something to do with the Nazis. So that's all I know at the moment, you know. But they did, with all respect, offer for her to go again.
Yeah.
You know, for her to do a performance again, because basically snatched the microphone off her. She sort of walked back because she was like in this tunnel type of thing. She did walk towards the back of the tunnel, and I think somebody popped out and gave her another microphone. But they did offer, you know, did she want to sing again? And she declined, basically. And same as I said, you know, you don't know who that person were. It could have been a terrorist or whatever. You know what I mean? I think it sort of it unsteadied her nerves a little bit, and I think she were a bit. You know what I mean? So I mean, I can understand it from her point of view. I mean, just a random fella running on the stage. I mean, it could have had a knife. It could have had, you know what I mean? You just don't know, do you?
But let me ask you about that though, because I heard out there in the UK, y'all don't really carry a whole bunch of dangerous weapons and stuff like that. You know, you know, like you're walking around with guns and everything.
There is a lot of crime, you know, violent crime, but it's very, very rare. It's sort of gun related. It's more knife related, or you know what I mean? It's very rare. You know, it's well. Having said that, when me and Mr. P first moved back to Sheffield, we just moved into a masonette, and we'd only been there a few days, and we heard all this commotion going off. So we went out through the hallway door, and we were sort of like on a second floor masonette. Yeah. Looked down, and there's all these police, armed police as well, with dogs and everything, you know. And I'm thinking, oh my God, where have we moved to? Have we, you know?
Yeah, it was over.
And I think what it was, it wasn't actually in our block. It was like a block a bit further over. And I think what had happened was, boyfriend and girlfriend had split up, and he'd gone over there, and he basically was holding a hostage, that sort of situation.
That's crazy.
You know, and you know, it were quickly sorted. But you know, I mean, from my perspective, I thought, you know, where have I moved to, so to speak, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you question things.
You know, we'd only been there a couple of days, and then there's like all these police dogs. Oh, excuse me, that's my coffee. There's all these police dogs.
Yeah.
You know, armed police officers, but our police officers aren't armed all the time. They own it, yeah. Cheery Giggle says, are you ready for the wedding? Well, there's a bit of controversy about that as well.
What's the controversy about the wedding?
Well, you know, the bride's father, apparently, he was paid to stage some paparazzi photographs. It shows you him walking, like doing like weights, and in an internet cafe, and I forget what it basically, they paid him to stage some paparazzi pictures. Well, now the announcement's been made this morning that he will not be attending the wedding.
Okay.
And that is the bride's father.
Apologies. There's a fox chasing the rabbit on the screen in there, and she's going ballistic.
No apologies necessary.
Yeah, so, you know, I mean, that's the last thing you want, like 4 or 5 days before your wedding, the father of the groom, you know, dropping out of the proceedings. So, and that was the headline this morning. The father of Meghan Markle will not be attending the wedding.
You gotta keep it. You gotta keep it civil sometimes. Maybe folks complicating it, making it into a show, a spectacle.
Same as I've said. You've got to bear in mind that she's an American actress, so she's
true.
being in the spotlight, etc. But to be marrying a prince, obviously she's got to give all that up now.
Why?
Yeah, this is true.
Like more or less cost himself the being able to walk his own child down the aisle and give her away.
This is exactly what I was about to say, Kate. He's sort of put himself in the spotlight, and to detriment, he can't now walk his daughter down the aisle. One of the biggest things that's going to happen. She's marrying royalty, and now he's put all that at risk.
Yeah, it could be the fact that, maybe it's the American thing and whatnot, I mean, maybe they don't really want to see it. I heard there was some kind of controversy over that, the fact that she's American.
It's not so much that she's American. I think it's all this to do with the dad.
You think so?
I don't know whether he wanted to.
People in the UK are calling her the new Diana, which is pretty much a compliment. Well, people in Ireland are.
Well, I don't think she'll ever be the new Diana. I think Kate is more the new Diana, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Diana could never be. There could never be another Diana. No matter how much they're not going to compete with that woman ever.
Well, you see, this is. I mean, going back to Kate and Will's. I mean, they've just had a new baby. Now, in all respect, they would normally have a royal photographer come and take the pictures of the baby, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
But
is that the way to go though? To take pictures of the baby?
Yeah. I mean, they've got sort of certain photographers that only photograph the royal family.
Yeah, I guess so.
On such occasions, I mean, they'll, like the wedding on Saturday, they will have a certain photographer that's been approved by the Queen to take the photographs officially.
But you got to be careful because other babies might get jealous.
Well, same as I said, there were some pictures released last week, and they were actually what Kate had took on her mobile phone of the Princess Charlotte holding the new baby and giving him a kiss on the head. The same as I said, that is more heartwarming to like Joe Blogs like myself to see a proud mother taking pictures of a newborn with his sister, on a mobile phone. And they've not gone sort of up the official, official baby photographs. Mm-hmm. It's something that's personal to her, and she's not took it on with a camera or anything. She took them on a mobile phone. And
I mean, that's one way of looking at it.
Gosh, the Queen looks awesome for her age. But I mean, in all honesty, both are health's failing her and her husband. From my point of view, I think she ought to step down and let Charles. But you see, there's a downside to that because he married Camilla and all the controversy with Diana.
Oh man, yeah.
And not to mention, she pretty much is the Anne Boleyn in history of queens. She is gonna cause destruction.
Wow, he said Anne Boleyn. Oh my God.
England, it's gonna be her whispering in his ear.
Sounds like you got a lot of drama going on over there.
But I mean, this is only my opinion. I think they ought to let Kate and Wills step up. Because I think all the controversy with Charles, with Diana, it was seeing Camilla behind Diana's back. So I don't think he's in a position to actually step up to the mark to take over from the Queen.
Bear made a very, very good point there. I agree there.
Well, some people may say that over time you can change, you can mature, you can become somebody different.
But same as I say, I mean, in all honesty, they're in their 80s. I mean, doesn't she deserve a little bit of downtime. You know what I mean? I mean, she's still doing, you know, royal duties, etc. And you know, when you get in your 80s, you just want to sit, relax, and put your feet up, basically. Hey, good morning, Vicky. How are you?
I'm surprised she hasn't started live streaming from the Royal Palace or something on YouTube. She's mad.
You know, it's like this way. I mean, you know, I'd like to think when I get in my 80s, you know, I'm not sort of, you know, I'd just want to sit and put my feet up. And I think William and Kate are the ideal couple to take over, in all honesty.
I mean, it sounds good, but isn't there an order to this thing? You know, a hierarchy? It's like,
yes. Well, the next in line to actually take over the throne is Charles, because it's a bit of a funny one. I mean, he's got a sister, Princess Anne. She's the oldest, but it's because Charles is the eldest son. And because she was queen, he's got to hand the crown to a king, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But there's a lot of controversy about Camilla being the queen, you know. So, but there was a bit of a change in the system, because after William, it should have been George and then the new baby before Charlotte. But she made history because they're saying after George, Charlotte will take over.
Sounds like they need to take a vote and have like a round table meeting. You know?
Salvage says, "Hi all, it's so sad that Di isn't here to see her sons and grandbabies. She'd be so proud of her boys, and I've always said that." Shauna Males, can the Queen put William in instead of Charles? I suppose she could,
but she probably won't.
But you see,
I agree with that.
Basically, Charles is the next in line to succeed the throne. But there's all this controversy with Camilla and all the controversy and theories about Diana that I don't think he really ought to. I mean, because he's in his 60s, isn't he?
Marie.
Yeah, he's up there.
So yeah, so I mean, you know, in my opinion, and same as I say, it's only my opinion, I don't think Charles should step up. I think it ought to go to William and Kate.
I agree.
You know, the younger generation, and that's what the country needs, is a younger generation king and queen.
Well, don't they got some other young ones in there too, you know?
So, and the night owl says, I thought when Charles married Camilla, the throne goes to William. Well, you see, like you're going back to the King and Mrs. Spencer. I mean, because she was married before and divorced and everything, he had to abdicate from the throne. So, I mean, it's the only the same scenario with Charles and Camilla, because she's been married before. She's got children with other people, you know. So, so
it says here apparently that Elizabeth has currently selected as her heir is her eldest son Charles. That's who is selected at the minute, and she hasn't changed it. Order of succession to the British monarchy.
Yeah, well, so as I say, we were just on about, I forget who it is that the king was that had to abdicate because he fell in love with Mrs. Simpson. I mean, she was a commoner. So I mean, in other words, I mean, Camilla were a commoner. She were married before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's only the same scenario. So
it sounds complicated.
And you think, Mel, as well, all the amount of money that they're spending on the royal wedding, and you've got all the hospitals all over the country struggling.
Yeah.
You know, to perform operations, to look after the patients that they've got, and they're spending millions of pounds on a royal wedding, and we're paying for it.
Yeah,
you got to keep up the facade, though. You know, make the appearance that you care.
They are like doing these things to cover bigger news. The reason why we're having these
Yes.
engagements and weddings is to cover bigger what is really happening out there.
Yes, I
You know,
agree. Totally agree.
you've got the chemo row about, you know, basically it's a postcode lottery, as we're calling it in, you know. It all depends where you live in the country. Some are able to get certain drugs for cancer, and then others aren't. And to me, that is wrong. Everybody should be offered the same treatment.
Oh yeah.
But because
They should be.
hospitals are struggling financially, you know,
This is true.
you've got people dying unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
you know, I'm of this, you know, why not sort of just go to the local church, get married without all this, you know, fanfare. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Queen can be there. Yeah, the King can be there, you know, and whatever. But to televise it all day long from 9:30 in the morning, that is costing such as me and you money because we're paying for it.
There's a hospital up in the north coast, like further on up from me, called the Causeway. Now it's being sort of under wrap at the minute of closing down, and they're trying to do all sorts. But back whenever I was sort of going into hospitals at the start of my vlog, there was a woman inside. And I didn't record it or nothing, but there was a woman inside my ward who would like laugh and make all sort of like noises. You really would have believed it was something out of The Exorcist. It was just constant all night. These crab bands on the bed, and she's like, you know, really, really old. But they left her and neglected her for hours on end, and she didn't eat. They didn't come in
Oh my God.
her. They didn't do anything. She literally lay there in a big mess, and you know they come in and she'd change her sheets, and you'd see they're all stained and soaking wet, and it's like that's not her fault. That's your fault. You're not coming in here and looking after her. And they come around with this plastic basin instead of putting her into a wheelchair and wheeling her into a shower facility, which facilitates because it's a hospital. They could put her in one of them seats and wash her. But they don't. They carry this plastic basin and give her a wee wash with that and pull the curtain round. And it's like that's not what you're paid to do. You're paid to actually look after her. And you know she's sitting up at 4 o'clock in the morning in her bed, laughing and talking to somebody who's not there. And instead of coming around and comforting her, they're like turning all the lights off, making her freak out and wake the entire ward. And it's like, what is going on? To see that day, I realized the level of care is gone. There's no more of that, you know, patient doctor sort of bond anymore. It's just you're just another number.
James, old school with a modern twist. Hello, James. You see, the thing is, I mean, like obviously, you know, my mum passed away last year.
Sorry to hear that.
I mean, they when they gave my mum the diagnosis, she got nobody with her. There were about 6 or 7 doctors round, you know, and I mean, in my mind, she says, "Oh, the doctor sat down and sort of held my hand and says, 'Oh, I think you know what I'm going to say.'" And my mum's response was, "Well, I'm not doctor, you are. You know what? You know." And he were more or less saying, "Oh, well, you know, I'm going to tell you you've got cancer." You know, and my mum says, "Well, I'm not the doctor, you are." She says, "You know, I want to know what's going on." And he told her there and then without any family or friends round her.
Oh, that's horrible. And in the way that
I'd been saying for weeks, because she was transferred to the Queen's Medical Centre in Nottingham, and I went to see the nurse and I said, "Can I see a doctor, please?"
Yeah.
Why? Because my mum told me that they'd done a biopsy. And I said, because you see, originally they give a diagnosis of gallstones.
That's interesting. Wow.
You know, I when my mum told me that while she was under, because they put 2 stents in the bile duct. Says to me, she says, "Oh, they told me that while they was there, they did a biopsy."
Yeah.
So I says to my mum, I says, "Well, I says they don't do a biopsy just for the sake of it. Obviously, they think it might be something else."
You saw something.
You know, they've not. I says, "Right, I'm going to see the nurse." I says, "I'm going to demand that I see a doctor, etc."
Yeah.
So I went to the nurse's station and I says, I'm Mrs. Bailey's daughter. I want to know exactly the reason why you have done a biopsy. So, I mean, this nurse didn't know my mum from Adam, and she just opened the notes, and you know, she didn't know my mum personally. And she says, well, I'm sorry. She says, at the moment, I can't get a doctor to see you. She says, but I can look through her notes for you. So I says, right, okay. So she says, well, basically, she says, as you know, she says, your mum's been down for they actually put a double stent in, you know, in a bile duct. So she says, as you know, she says, your mum's been down for a stent in a bile duct. I says, yes, I know that much. I says, but what I want to know is why have they done a biopsy? What do they think it is? And her response to me was, oh, it probably nothing. She says, they do these as routine. I says, I'm not asking you that. I says, why have they done a biopsy? And basically, she couldn't tell me. And then
maybe it's just about something else.
And then, well, they knew, Mel. They knew very well what they were looking for.
Well, it's like the old saying goes, money talks.
And a week or so after, they transferred her back to a local hospital. And that's when they came to the side of the bed and said, you know, and then he had the cheek to say, because my mum sort of told me, she says, I rang the hospital and I says, you know, couldn't you have waited till she'd got family there to tell her what it was? And he more or less said, oh, well, we did ask her if she wanted to get it. And my mum says he didn't. He was basically lying, saying that he'd asked my mum if she wanted any family before they had that discussion. And he told me that my mum had said no. And I says, well, that's not what my mum's saying.
Yeah.
You know, my mum told me that my mum told me that question wasn't even asked. He just sat down with her, about 6 doctors around the bed, and says, oh, I think you know what I'm going to tell you. You know, it was sort of just like you were greeting somebody, you know, I think you know what I'm going to tell you. You know, and my mum was quite witty, and she says, well, no, I'm not the doctor, you are.
That's crazy.
So, you know, it's terrible. You know, it's terrible. And she got the diagnosis in the September, and by the April, she were passed.
Wow.
So, you know, and this is why I say all the money that they're spending on the royal wedding could go towards chemotherapy treatment, could go towards, you know, there's a lot of money that could be better spent in the NHS, in our health system, than what is being spent.
Could I on this?
You need to run for prime minister.
I don't want to offend anybody who's currently watching this live or watches it back, but you know those like sort of organizations like cancer research. Now, cancer research was opened, I think, in the 1800s, possibly maybe later, a wee bit later, and still to this day don't have a cure. But yet, people all over America are finding ways within certain, maybe cannabis or the OCD oils. They're finding cures to cancer themselves, and yet we're funding and donating to this organization to search, but yet they've been searching for so many years, and think of the amount of boxes you put money in passing, and other people have too. It's like, how have they not got a cure or a way for people to have solitude?
They have a way. They have a way. They just don't have control over it. You know?
Yeah.
They want something to be regulated. It's hard to regulate the cannabis, you know, because you can grow it in your backyard. You can grow it in your house.
So the night owl says all those extravagant dinners they're having could be scaled down. I agree with you there. Salvage Gal Creation says, freaking doctors have no bedside manner. Same here in the States. Lost my mum last May. It's like they don't care about the elderly.
Horrible.
Unfortunately, no.
It's not just the elderly. You know, I mean, you know, in all honesty, these doctors in our NHS system are getting thousands of pounds a year paid to them in salary. And I've been watching a thing on BBC Two here in the UK, and that is centred at Queen's Medical Centre. And it was only filmed this year in January. And at one stage, in the emergency department, they got about 30 people on beds waiting to be seen.
Jeez.
And this is going back to the bed shortage, because there were people that they knew needed admitting but couldn't admit them because of the shortage of beds.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Like, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, shortage of beds could cause other problems, you know.
I don't bet you any money there'll be a purge one day. There's going to be
I thought, you know, there's 30 people that are waiting for emergency treatment, waiting for emergency bed, and yet they're stuck in the emergency room on a bed in hallways. There was 30 people there.
That's crazy.
And then they'd wonder if one of them people actually died, why the family would sue them.
I don't even want to think about that. That's just, it's crazy how people treat each other in these most vulnerable situations, you know.
It begs the question, like, let's say, for instance, if I was rushed in the hospital, what sort of treatment would I get?
To answer, let me just see. Old school with a modern twist, 32 million is being spent on the wedding.
And some probably as well.
And then some, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. She brought me my meal. Yay.
Yes, Sam, as I say, I mean, this is what I'm going back to this subject of the NHS. I mean, in the America, you pay insurance. Well, like here in the UK, we pay something that's called national insurance, and that is taken out of your wages every week.
Yeah, they do that in America.
A similar sort of scenario. When we go into hospital, we don't have to pay a bill.
So what do you pay?
We don't pay anything.
That's crazy.
You see, the working person like Pixie and me, when I was working, we've got like you get tax on your wages, because we don't do our own tax returns or anything. So they take a percentage of your wages off you for income tax, and then they take a percentage of your wages off you for what we call national insurance, which is basically to cover the cost of you having to go in hospital at any said time. And this is what makes me so mad about the situation with my knee. Nobody's willing to help me, and I'm in excruciating pain day in and day out. I worked up until the year 2000 full time. I paid my national insurance. Now I want something back off the system. I can't get it.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Let's go with the modern twist. Yes, 32 million, and that's the Mirror, which is like a newspaper over here. So they're saying Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding is to cost 32 million, and then I need to go on into it and tell you who's paying for it. The huge security cost.
Well, they gotta work it out.
So that's it.
Hello, how are you?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, Mrs. P. I gotta get ready to get some sleep because I'm trying to stay up. But
I did say to you if you wanted to drop out at any time, Mel.
Yeah, I want to stay a little longer, but I gotta get sleep.
You're gonna get some sleep, and I shall speak to you very soon. And thank you for joining us.
Nice to see you again.
All right, Kate. I'll see you around.
So basically, the main cost is down to security. for snipers, for security, including snipers, undercover police, and counter drone systems. And that is the estimate cost of 30 million, sorry, because the venue in which they're getting married in is free because it belongs to the Queen. And where they're eating, the marquee that they're hiring is 350,000. So catering is 286,000, cake 50,000. So if you go to the Mirror on your internet browser, and you can look down and see the breakdown of all what they're purchasing, but the main spendage is security. And see if they just keep it private, they wouldn't bloody need that much security, but they can't have it that way.
50,000 on a wedding cake?
Oh no! Would you ever in your life? And
hey, vlog from the bog.
They're not going to eat it. So, can you imagine Meghan Markle sitting down with a spoon and a big slice of cake? No.
What embossing each other in face with cake once they've cut cake?
I couldn't even do that at my own wedding. I couldn't go and grab a slice of cake and sit down and even, like, no, I would feel weak. I'd take it home with me and eat it all that night watching Netflix. Oh, no, I think it's ridiculous the amount they're spending on this wedding. It's seriously.
Well, we were talking about it the other night, and the FA Cup is actually on the same day.
Oh, for goodness sake.
And somebody was saying, oh, which are going to be watching, the FA Cup or the royal wedding? And I says neither, to be quite honest with you. I've got better things to do than sit all day Saturday, one, watching the royal wedding, and two, watching the FA Cup. I mean, Pixie will probably be watching the FA Cup. And
here, this is the biggest shock, and this is actually because Nidal, for goodness sake, Kate.
Ozzy Mark's in as well.
The Nidal, they are spending more on this wedding than they did Will and Kate's. That's also what it said in the article.
Oh, so, I've got a fan as well, Kate. Hiya, Vicky's son Carter. How are you? Good morning. Hope you're getting ready for school.
Who?
Vicky is the night owl, and she says, "Good morning, Jeanette." And she says, "I was excited yesterday when she came on," and she says, "Oh, that's that lady that I like." So I said, I sort of waved and said hello to him yesterday morning, and she says, "Oh," she says, "he's grinning from ear to ear."
Bless.
And I'm with Ozzy Mark. I'm not interested in either.
I'm good, he says.
Bella is travelling through London, going back home because she's been looking after a sick relative. And she's travelling on Saturday when it's the royal wedding, and she's not looking forward to it at all.
Oh, no way.
Hello.
Hello, Bear.
Oh, Vlog from the Bog says it's okay. The wedding is in the morning. The FA Cup is until, well, either's irrelevant to me, Vlog from the Bog.
Old school with a modern twist. No, £50,000.
Oh, it's a bit ridiculous spending that much on a cake.
No, I wouldn't, because, like, realistically, do you know what they should have done? They should have got married where they're meant to get married, and then obviously all the people come and do what they got to do. But then they should go and have the next bit of it privately, away from everybody. I don't understand what the big deal is with, look at me, I'm getting married today. I don't understand.
Are we talking about weddings?
Yeah, we're talking about the royal wedding.
The thing is, as well, what makes me laugh is William and Kate were going out, and then they split up, and then they got back together, and then next minute they're getting married. And the same things happened with him and Meghan Markle. They was going out, they split up, he went out with somebody else, and then they've got back together, and now they're getting married.
You could say.
Ozzy Mark says we eloped, they should too.
So we're talking about the royal wedding. Can we talk about any other wedding? Because if, like, okay, like, I'm sure that you and Mr. P are married, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess you spent roughly about 500, 600, 800, 900, roughly.
Well, I don't really know how much we spent, but
normally, how much do you normally spend?
We just had church, even though I'd been married before.
Yeah.
Because Pixie hadn't, and I was divorced, we was allowed to get married in church.
Right, okay.
So, but going back to that, his mum and dad are very religious.
Okay, yeah.
So it wasn't sort of we were bowing down to their pressures or anything.
No.
I wanted to do it in a church.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we got married in church. Yeah, we had a Rolls Royce car sort of take us there and to the reception venue. But we only went, we had our reception in a leisure centre.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And we had like, yeah, we had a 3-tier cake, but it didn't cost nowhere near 50. In fact, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Because who, I mean, I wouldn't say who wouldn't spend as much on a wedding, because you do what you can on the wedding day, whether it's a man who does it or the actual.
I'm laughing at James's, but Mrs. P, are you baking them a cake? I don't think.
A lot of things, well, that Megan got out of that Kate didn't. Like, for example, Megan got out of because we introduced the new generation where women don't need to be checked before marrying into the royal family.
And Cheery Giggle says, I never knew Megan was divorced. No, she isn't divorced, but it's like a reoccurring thing. William and Kate got together, and then for some reason they split up, but sort of a year or two down the line, they got back together, and next minute they're getting married. And it's like a reoccurring thing. Harry and Meghan Markle got together. They split up. He, went out with other ladies, but then all of a sudden they're getting back together and they're getting married.
But normally, a household, a parent and a husband and a wife would normally spend roughly about $1,000, just under.
I'd say something like that.
Yeah, normally.
You can sort of go a bit extravagant, but
you wouldn't fucking put it on the TV, would you? You wouldn't film it and say, "Look at me."
I'd film it and put it on YouTube.
Vlog from the Bog says poor old William has to go to the wedding as best man. Then he's got to go to the FA Cup because he's the chairman of the FA. Then he's got to get back to the reception in the evening. It's hard life, yeah.
I noticed, yeah, he is.
He'll probably get an helicopter.
Yeah, he will, and he'll probably land on the actual football ground.
Oh, Cherry Giggle says that Megan was married before. Well, I never knew that.
No, I think Cherry's asking, no, but Megan was married before, so she's like, what?
Is she asking, or is she I don't know.
No, same as I say, I not to my recollection, I don't really know a lot about her, just that she's American, and there's a lot of controversy still going on because her dad's been paid to have some paparazzi pictures took of him. So there's controversy this morning that a statement has been made that he won't actually be walking Meghan down the aisle because he's not attending the wedding at all.
I don't pay attention to the royal family. I don't need to, and I don't have to, because in my eyes, they're German. So it's not, and I haven't got anything against German people. It's because I don't want to be run by a German, Jeanette. I want to live my life.
Prince Philip into even England.
No, he's British. He's British, but she's got German relatives, and she's part of the German whatever it is. But I know she speaks English. Yeah, I'll give her that. But her royal family together, the whole royal family together, is an actual German nationality. So put your hand up. Would you want to be run by a German then, Jeanette? Put your hand up, honestly. Would you?
Same as I say. I mean, we have no say in who runs the country, actually.
Exactly, you can't.
Exactly. So we haven't got a choice.
Yeah, but you could just live your life. You could just live your life, Jeanette. You could just go, yeah, I'm Jeanette. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to shut the door. If I shut the door, you shut the door.
At the end of the day, we don't have a say in who runs the country. Even if we had a referendum, you know what I mean? People are not going to vote that we abolish the royal family.
No. That is true.
I mean, you know, in all honesty, more people in the UK are for the royal family than are against it. You know, you've got a minority. I'm not saying I'm for the royal family. I'm not saying I'm against the royal family, but we don't have a choice in the matter, and you sort of, you know, you make the most of what you've got, sort of thing. You know, but I, for one, you know, I won't be watching either. Or the royal wedding, you know. So in my eyes, that's simple.
Who is going to put the TV on about that? Because I don't think I will. I ain't going to be putting this box on for that. Because it's either you put the TV on for a royal wedding kiss, or if it's not a royal wedding, it's someone being stabbed, or it's your country being blown up. So, you know, it's the same old crap on the TV now, Jeanette.
You know, so you know, I'll be quite honest with you. I won't be watching either.
No.
No.
No, I'm not naked. Barry thinks I'm naked.
Vicky says, I agree, Jeanette, the money could be better spent. Yeah, I do. And that's my opinion.
There's nothing wrong with Germans. Just don't mention the war.
and Salvage Gal Creation says, stuck with them like we're stuck with Trump. Well, this is it. You know, I mean, you don't get a vote in this country as to who rules the country. You know, we sort of just, in other words, the mere minions, if you know what I mean. We're just the people that go out to work and earn the queen the money that, you know, that she's accustomed to, basically, in a nutshell. It's us minions that go out to work.
We are our public servants.
You know, to give her the way of life she lives.
Don't mention the war. Just don't mention the war. You've been watching too much Fawlty Towers, Mr. Barry.
You know, it's...
Katie's back.
But there again, I mean, everybody's allowed opinions. It's freedom of speech, etc. I mean, you probably have people saying, you know, that are royalists and saying, oh, how dare you call a queen and how dare you do this. But in my opinion, it's me going out to work all them years that's paying for the royal wedding, that paid for William and Kate's wedding, and that is allowing the Queen to reside in Buckingham Palace.
I just want to say in the chat, well, anyone could comment on this, but in the chat, who is actually a fan of watching the royal family? Then who's actually got family members who's going to go to Buckingham Palace to watch it? Because I can honestly say right now, no one in my house is going. I've got no friends who's going to go. Family don't care. So, you know, I mean, if there are people out there who's going to argue against it and see why you shouldn't comment on people's nationality, I'm not talking about the nationality. I don't give a monkeys about their nationality. It's because I don't want to be run by an old lady who gets everything for free. You know, I used to work on the business. Yeah, I don't work anymore because of my attitude. But I've made money. I've done my fair share of spending money, paying rent, and I've done fair share. But I'm not going to let some old tatty lady wave and say, hello, I'm going to a wedding. I'm not having any of that. I'm not getting run down by any woman. And it's not because she's an old lady or she's a queen. To me, she's just a lady. She's just an old lady who just natters. I'm sorry. That's how I feel about it.
Back to the thing where, I mean, same as I said, when I get to my 80s, I want to be putting my feet up and taking it.
Yeah, I heard you say, Jeanette. Go on. I heard you saying about that.
You know, same as I say, it don't matter what you say or what you do, she's still going to be there.
Yeah.
You know, and Cheery Giggle says, I want to see what the money is being spent on.
Well, I wouldn't, mate. I wouldn't.
30 million of it's being spent on security.
Just put your TV on. There you go. There's your answer.
Although I liked your excuse for not working because of my attitude. It's like
and vlog from the bog side. The good thing when William and Kate got married, we got the day off.
Yeah, well, we won't be having a day off now because obviously it's American, isn't it? I think the Americans have a day off.
Cheery Giggles, go to the Mirror. Actually, just Google how much is being spent in the royal wedding, and then go to the Mirror.
The paper, not your mirror in your bathroom.
No, the article that was written up by the Mirror, they have actually individually went through and broke down what every penny's being spent on, and they're spending more in this wedding than they did on the first wedding.
Hello, welcome. I think I'm Abelisha's cook spot.
Abelasha. Welcome in, Abelasha. I hope I said your name.
You just joined the chat and wonder what we're talking about. We're talking about the royal wedding.
What is a royal wedding, I ask? Oh, you may you say.
But you see, I mean, it's so easy to predict because when William and Kate got married, I says, you look, within a year she'll be pregnant. And lo and behold, within a year she was pregnant.
That is true.
Within 5, she was 3 kids later.
You know,
how old is Kate? How old is Kate? Not you, Kate. Kate Middleton. How old is Kate?
I would imagine they're in the 30s. I'm no idea.
Isn't she?
But you see, it's like I was going back to about him and Kate, William and Kate got together, then they split up. Now I think, I mean, this is only my opinion again, that I think that they have, well, not so much orders. You know, you've got to be married by a certain date. You've got to have children by a certain date. And if you don't choose a wife, then we'll do it for you. You know, but that's only my opinion.
I think they need to bring back the rules from like when, obviously, like Roman times, we had like, if you did anything like bad, you would have, the Queen would say off with your head and that. So, do you know what? Bring back everything.
Salvage Girl Creation says, think it's cool to have seen Di get married and a boy start families. We see that this is the thing. I mean, there's a conspiracy theory about that. You know, that the royal family ordered her assassination. But I think what it was, there was all this controversy that it was already seeing Camilla before him and Diana even got married. It was the, you know, you've got to go forth and multiply sort of thing. Camilla was too old to give him heirs to the throne, and I think that's why the only reason why he married Diana in the first place.
Yeah.
So Diana would give him heirs to the throne, and then when things got a bit sticky and she was speaking about marriage, and I think, I think there might be, or there could be, a lot of truth to the conspiracy theory. You know, she was outspoken.
Yeah.
And when it didn't suit the Queen that she was being too outspoken, but I'm just saying that, same as I've said, he only married Diana
for the money.
So, well, no, so she could give him heirs to the throne. And when she'd outlived the US, that was it. She were gone. And he was seeing Camilla even before they got married. And because Camilla wasn't in a position to give him heirs to the throne, that's why he married Diana in the first place.
There's an interview with Diana where I don't even know who it is she's been interviewed by, but she's sitting and she's by herself. And the interviewer goes, "Do you think you'll ever be queen?" And she went, "No, I'm not like them. And they know it." And she said there and then she knew she wasn't going to be queen. She wasn't like them. And what she meant by that, you guys need to go watch Sun, Sea, and Satan. And it focuses on an island that the Queen owns and the royal family visit often. And it's off the coast of England somewhere, Jersey. I don't know.
Jersey, yeah.
So when you get off the boat there and you're driving up the road just off from the harbour, which the royal family come off at, when you're driving up, there's a big monument of little children statues, all in inappropriate positions, being raped by grown-ups. And the royal family drive by this. Now, also, there's a children's home that not one person on that island will talk to you about. And what do you call the Queen's husband? Him. He ran it.
Philip.
Philip owned it and ran it. And children died. Children went missing. the orphans that were last in it, no one can trace. There was, whenever it was like all done underneath, like dug up and stuff, they were finding bones. And so this guy, a YouTuber, was like, no, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And he goes out, Sun, Sea, and Satan, it's called. He goes out, he tries to talk to the people about it. And he tries to talk to the younger generation who aren't aware of what happened. And he asks them all, quote, one question before leaving them. He says, would you be happy with your children getting into the system of Jersey, the care system? And they were all, no way. Why would people not have faith in their own government?
That's it. Yeah, because I think a lot of stuff is swept under the carpet.
Especially where that child home was concerned. Like, there's no burial sites. The children all vanished. No, he was using them in sex acts, and it got out, and he knew it would get out, so he had to kill all the children. And so what he did was he vanished off the island and let his staff pick at each child until there was none left. And that guy got to the bottom of it. Why would the public be so, don't talk to me, we don't want to talk about this? They're so...
Because they've been threatened, basically. And Beauty on the Budget says that's when Diana said there were 3 people in their marriage. I totally agree with that.
Okay, I don't know if I can share the link here, but when you're on YouTube, you search, hold on.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Sun, Sea, and Satan.
Say that again?
Sun, Sea, and Satan.
Okay.
And it's called Pie and Mash Films. So P&M Films. And this guy really takes this to heart. He's a pedophile hunter, and he just wants to know what happened to these children. He's took it really into him, and he makes it his mission. And what he uncovers, meanwhile, in what he starts to uncover about the royal family, will leave you in total shock.
My apologies for cutting in. You said he's a pedophile hunter. He's a pedophile hunter, and he's asking questions from who? Sorry, the royal family. He's gonna get no answers.
No, that's the thing. He's not asking them. He went to the island to find out. So when the Queen wants to get rid of her money, she puts the tax into Jersey and stuff, and he explains what the royal family are doing in the sidelines. What the UK see and what the people of Jersey get are 2 different things. Like, whenever you're driving up from that boat, there's literally a little boy on his hands and knees doing stuff.
Well, I won't look at that. Thank you very much.
And the man gets out of his car and he attacks the guy who owns the statues. He's like, get that down, that's disgusting. The next day he drives by and the little boy has become a little girl and has a wig on with little pigtails and bows, and he goes ballistic. The guy is like, how could you do this? This is disgusting. The royal family pass this every single time they get off that boat and they say nothing. And it's like, like, really, what is going on?
It's going back to, I mean, there's been a lot of controversy in the UK papers about all these members of Parliament and whatever in House of Commons doing drugs, yet they're preaching to everybody else about doing drugs, yet they reckon it's rife in House of Commons.
Yeah.
It's what we call double standards. You know what I mean? They preach to everybody about, it's wrong to do drugs and this, that, and other. Yet you've got people that are supposedly making decisions on the country that are doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah. And see, bringing it back to the paedophile thing. Now, I don't know if it's the same in England, but over here, we got introduced to the Internet Interceptor paedophile hunters.
Can you say his name again? The night I want you to say
Philip? Or Pie and Mash Films?
The YouTuber, I guess.
Pie and Mash Films, P&M Films.
Pie and Mash, my owl.
So Sun, Sea, and Satan is the name of the film or the documentary. But no. So over here, we got introduced to pedo hunting, and it was the Internet Interceptors, which was an England branch that started it all, and it came here, and it got big. But then all of a sudden, our government weren't arresting the pedophiles. They were arresting the hunters and charging them for things that they had done years ago or offences they had made, and publicly shamed the hunters for being vigilantes and bad people. And it's like, hold on a second. They're cleaning our streets and the pedophiles are walking free. And it's like, you can read the chat. It's right there in front of you. This guy's been told about 4 times, I am this age. And they're continuing. And the they're not doing nothing. They're just like, nah, mate, fine. It's okay. We don't really care.
And Beauty on the Budget hit the nail on the edge. She says, I think the whole thing is a shambles and full of hypocrisy. Yeah, it's true. It's do as I, you know, as the saying goes, do as I say, not do as I do. You know what I mean?
I just think that this, like, how would I explain it? See, before I was a mum, and I was like, in my younger days, like when I was 15, 16, I entertained people online. Like, guys, I'm not talking about strip teasing or nothing like that. I would sit and talk to older men and be excited about it. And it's like, you need to get into schools before and knock this on the head, because kids are now younger and younger and getting phones younger and younger. And when I was 15, I wasn't allowed a phone. I had a computer. I was told I had to come off it at a certain time. The second everybody went to bed, I was all, hello, I'm from Northern Ireland. What's your name? I'm 15. Hi. And it's like, no, you can't physically, like, we girls need to know.
Yeah.
Because the risk of it.
And Callum's 15 and sort of he comes off his Xbox, his phone and everything at 8 o'clock. He goes to bed at 9 o'clock and his phone is brought down here. So he's got no.
Sorry, Jeanette, I was going to say.
Way to be.
I was going to say, I'm sure Callum ain't that stupid to say, like, oh, yeah, I'm from Sheffield, blah, blah. I'm sure he's not like that.
Well, no, but same as Kate says, you never know who's out there preying on young, vulnerable girls and boys. And,
True.
you know, for his own safety, we don't allow him to have any
communication. Yeah.
You know, once he's gone to bed, he's gone to bed. Yeah, I'm not saying he goes to sleep straight away. I mean, you know, but you know, his phone's brought down here.
There was a case I'm actually involved in, and I didn't know this about the guy when I was talking to him, but if you again search Greg Dawson on Google and put in Scotland, they'll bring up a story from 2013, 2014 of him being resentenced, and he went to prison. Now, to me, this guy, Greg Dawson, was 18. He worked in a hotel. He lived in the hotel, and he, you know, was all this stuff. And when I seen him on camera, it was him. And then in the end, it turned out to be that, you know, he wasn't the age he said he was, and he had raped a girl. So the police arrived with all these nude pictures and wanted me in front of my mother, because I was underage. I shouldn't have been, you know, I had to have an adult with me. And all these pictures of moo-moos and titties. And I was like, how do I point? No, none of them are me. So none of them actually were me, because, you know, I didn't have the way of sending these photos to him. And so my mum was sitting there, like, her foot tapping. She was raging, so she was. And I started reading out a letter I sent to him, and I was all, you know, declaring my love for him, and it was so mortifying. But I defended him and said that he never tried to go down a route of talking to me in any inappropriate way, which was lies. So I tried to defend him. He then got took to court, and he got, like, tried and let out. And then he went back and done the same to the same girl again, only I don't think it was rape. How can you rape someone twice without someone stopping it? I mean, seriously, in her house, in her room, I don't understand. So anyway, apparently the second time her mother caught him. It's all in the article. And then it also mentions another girl who was 15 years of age, lives in Ireland, was also involved, but refused to give a statement. And I think it was more this in the sense of my mum was forcing a statement, and I was petrified because I didn't want him, you know, coming out of prison and coming and getting me. It was like, no chance I say nothing.
This is the thing nowadays, because in your situation, you were too scared to say anything wrong against him. And that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They scare you to the point where you don't say anything against them.
Yeah.
But, you know, for the reprisals of what you're going to say about them.
And I said to my mum and all, she was like, you need to press charges. Like, Mum, you're forgetting. We have wrote to each other. He has my address in here. Like, what's stopping him getting out and coming and getting me?
You want to be careful.
Although my mum said if anyone ever in their entire life picked me up off the street and kidnapped me in my younger days, they would have threw me back within 5 minutes.
Yeah, you want to be careful.
Because I literally talk. So they're like, no, out of my car.
Are you listening?
I know I'm putting in food forest permits. Good morning, Jeanette Pickering. On my way fishing for salmon and see you are live and wanted to show my fishing buddies how good folks are on YouTube. Thank you very much.
Hello, all you and your fishing buddies. Enjoy your...
Yeah, you know, I mean, the only thing that we can do, I mean, is like, I mean, you know, I've always... I was brought in a strict household, and in my day, and I'm sure Bella Beauty on a budget would agree with me, we didn't have no mobile phones.
It's okay, it's just a fact.
You know, we didn't have no mobile phones. We used to go out and play. There were no sort of political correctness in them days. And I was only saying the other day, my mum used to stand on the doorstep, shout me in, and if you didn't go in, you'd get a clip behind the ear if you weren't sort of there within 5 minutes. You know what I mean? And that's how I brought my children up. You know, and same as I say, you realise what sort of dangers there are out there, e.g. the internet, and you teach them, you know, and we've always said to Callum, you know, if anybody says anything inappropriate to you or ask you for photographs, etc., you just say no. No matter how much they press you, and if you do get something that you're not sure of, you know, bring your phone down here. I'll get onto them. They're not talk to you no more. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I'd basically say, well, you try getting my son to send inappropriate pictures and I'll hunt you down like a dog and I'll chop your what's it off.
I've always said, I don't like talking about it, but I mean, my mother was a victim in that. And I mean, when I've got ADHD, I can flip at anything, Jeanette. You know, I've got it in me to take a man's life, you know. I will say that and I don't care, you know. That's not because I'm violent, it's because I am very protective over my mother. Now, I'm not saying my father isn't. My father can protect my mother as well. But I was 18, 19, and I started hearing about all these stories and that. There was one time I was with my mum, we were talking about it. I mean, the guy's dead now, but I used to get really upset with my mum about it because she hid it from me. Because she hid it from me, I was upset. And it just made me angry, and I just wanted to hunt the bastard down. Sorry for swearing, but I wanted to hunt him down and just hurt him because of what he did to my mother. Now, there's women out there who've been raped, there's women out there who've been murdered and that. Now, as a man, I mean, I had a good friend on PS3 from Sheffield, Doncaster, sorry, and she was raped as well, and it just made me angry because I'm meeting all these nice women in that, and they've had past of that kind of stuff, and as a man, it just makes me angry. And to be honest, since I've done this YouTube, I've never met any other man who talks about this or makes them angry. I don't know how Mr. P feels about this kind of stuff, Jeanette.
Oh, yeah, well,
for me, it makes me so angry. I could just turn so evil, and I would hunt that person down, whether they've murdered someone or raped someone. I would murder you, and I would hurt you. And I mean,
Night Owl says, sorry, just saw your eyes when he swore, made me giggle. Yeah, Night Owl's put, yeah, you mess with my kids and Mama Bear comes out. Yeah, I'm very protective of my kids. Yeah,
you should be. Yeah, I think everyone...
I'm laughing at Food Forest. It says, I raised 3 girls, and when boys showed up, I would show them my 840 model shotgun, and I would say, this comes with me, and when my girls don't show up, no problem at all. Well, this is it. You are very protective of your kids. You know what I mean? And going back to what Bear said, yeah, I mean, I did have a very abusive ex, and I mean, Pixie's never met him or anything, but he knows what I went through, and he always said, like, you know, basically wouldn't be responsible for his actions if he ever met him in person. That's all I'm saying on the subject, you know. But it, you know, I've told Pixie everything. Pixie knows everything, you know, about me ex, and you know. But yeah, he is very protective of me. Pixie is, you know, and he often says, you know, a woman doesn't don't need to be treated like that.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, that's wrong. Disgraceful.
And his opinion is a man that hits a woman is a coward.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's basically all I'm going to say about it. He says any man that hits a woman is a coward.
I do apologise for swearing there, Jeanette. But
yeah, it's all right. You'll say.
Angry. Honestly, this subject does get me angry. I mean, there's people out there who can just. I mean, there's women out there who can just leave it and forget about it, and I'm just like, how?
And,
why?
And the night owl says, you see, it's so hard. I've been through physical abuse. They make us think it's your fault. My kids are very protective of me. Well, that's the way it should. As I say, that's the way it should be. Yeah. And Mr. P's the same with me. He knows what I've been through in my past, and you know, he's very passionate about the subject of very abusive partners. You know what I mean? He'd never raise a hand to me. You know, we're soulmates, we're friends, we're partners. You know what I mean?
Never hit a woman, man.
Cannot,
I would never hit.
No, he cannot in his wildest dreams understand that somebody would want to abuse him in that way. If you understand what I'm saying.
They're not even humans in it. They're monsters and they're scum. They're just scum and monsters. Horrible men. Horrible, evil men that can get away with stuff like rape, murder. Horrible. Horrible.
I'm laughing at Food. It says, have a great day, everyone. Bye, Jeanette. Get off to get the salmon. They shaking because waves know I am coming for them, lol.
Pixie is a gem. Yes, Pixie is a gem.
This is the thing. See a guy and a woman who for a guy beating on a woman and a woman beating on a guy, right? No matter the situation.
Yeah, I agree.
Big enough to challenge a woman or a man of their own gender. Like, she hits him because she knows he's not going to hit her back, or he hits her because she doesn't know he's going to hit her back, or she's not going to hit him back. But this is the thing. They can only hit you because they're not big enough to hit their own size.
Yeah, I mean, let's not get it wrong. I mean, there is, it's not just men that beat women up. It's you know, men can suffer from physical abuse as well. I found with my ex. First of all, when the abuse first started, I used to fight back, but that made him worse.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
So then you try another tactic. Well, if I don't argue with him, or I don't say anything, or I don't, you know, sort of respond in any way, then he not hit me. Well, that didn't work because it made him even madder. So what do? You know, you try all these different tactics, you know, and going back to an incident, and this was sort of just before I left him. Bearing in mind, I got 3 kids. So I'm sat there one night, and this is a story I've never told anybody. I was sat there one night and I was falling asleep. I got 3 young children. Well, not young children by that time, you know, but I was going up with them in the morning. I was doing the housework. I was doing shopping, etc. I had to do everything, basically. So by about 9 o'clock, I'm sat there and I'm falling asleep. And he liked to, you know what I mean?
Got a bad hand, Jeanette.
Well, yeah, he liked his pop. Let's put it that way.
Oh wow.
So anyway, I'm sat there, and I'm absolutely exhausted. I'm falling asleep. So basically, it just shouted over the room. It says, "If you're effing tired, off to bed, like." You know what I mean? So I didn't argue. I thought, oh, hang on a minute, Mr. P's home for his dinner. I'll not be a minute.
Hey, Mr. P. Sorry, Night Owl. I'm sorry too that I'm in the UK.
And Night Owl, if you find one.
Good luck. That's all I'm going to say, and I hope he treats you with respect. And I hope he's in better shape than I am. Oh, man.
Yeah, as we said, if you find one, Night Owl, grab me one too.
Grab me one too. Grab me a woman while you're at it. No, don't literally grab a woman. Mr. P, I wonder if he's going to come on. Say hello. I need to head off in a minute, Kate, because I've got to do a lot of shit.
Find a man. Grab me one while you're at it. While you're there at the man shop. I'll transfer it through PayPal.
Wait, they've got a man shop in America? Oh, wow.
Right, I'm back. Just had to let Mr. P in.
Quick, lock the door.
No dinner ready, no coffee. You know.
A little left, I can't see you. What? There you are. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, going back to the story I was telling. Right. So he shouts across, you better, if you're effing tired, you better F off to bed, sort of thing. So I thought, well, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to say anything. I just got up and I went to bed. So,
or Salvage, are either of you two in Canada or near Canada? Because there's a young, handsome man, single and lovely, our young Crimson.
Oh, Steve-O. Good old Steve-O.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Night Owl's in Canada as well. And so is...
Yeah.
Andy likes the older lady.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, well, going back to the story. So I went off to bed, I thought, well, I'm not arguing, I'm not saying anything bad back to him or anything. I just got up and I went to bed. So I was in bed, just nodding off. All of a sudden, the bedroom door came flinging open. He never said a word. He just came over to me in bed and he went, bash. Never said a word and got up and walked out again.
What a... My God.
You know, and that was... Basically, I'd not provoked him. I'd not said anything. He just came up the stairs, flung the door open, and walked back out again.
Sorry,
man.
So that sort of put the tin lid on it. So the next morning, I rang a solicitor. I made an appointment to see a solicitor about getting a divorce.
I would have done the same. I would have done exactly the same.
A few days later, I don't know what had triggered him. He just came home with, or he rang me and he says, you better be effing gone by the time I get home or else.
I
knew what the or else meant. So I just threw things in a bag and that's basically what I came away with. Some clothes that were thrown in a bag.
My owl says I'm 46, isn't it?
Well, that's just about Crimson's age group because he did say he preferred the older woman and he's 33, I think. I
witnessed a man bashing his wife in a backseat of a car and she was screaming. When you mean bashing, you mean like full on smacking the hell out of her. That's just wrong. That is outrageous.
Well, you see, as a result,
I would have gone into the car and I would have thrown him out of the car and I would have just
You see, the thing is with me, when I actually went to see the solicitor, I'd still got the black eye from where he'd bashed me one.
Yeah,
so the evidence was there.
That is bad,
you know. I still got a black eye. And you know, this is what I'm saying about anyone in an abusive marriage. I stuck it for 21 years for the sake of my kids.
Right. I'm going to have to head off because I've got a live stream to do. Mr. Picture, are you there, buddy?
He's in the kitchen.
Tell him I said hello, Jeanette, will you?
Big Red Bear says hello. He's making the coffee, so it does make a little bit of a noise, so I don't think he can hear me. But yeah, you know, and it's same with everyone else. I mean, if you're in an abusive relationship, the best thing you can do is get out of it.
Get a divorce. Listen to the woman on the screen.
Get out of it. It took me 21 years, and it's not just physical abuse; it's mental abuse.
I've got a question, Jeanette. Like, what in the end of the divorce, what made you wanted to divorce? What made you say enough's enough? And when did you think enough was enough?
Well, the incident where he just came up into the bedroom, same as I say, it sort of been abusive to me and said, well, get off to bed. So I didn't argue. I didn't say anything. I just got up and I went to bed.
And then a few minutes
I don't know whether that made him, what triggered him or not, because I didn't argue. I didn't say anything. I just got up and went to bed. And I don't know whether it pissed him off because I got up and gone to bed without saying anything.
He wanted you to provoke him, Jeanette. That's what, because he told you to go to bed and you said nothing. You chose to ignore him, and that's probably why. He's probably expecting you to say, "Oh, shut up," or he wants you to say something back.
Same as I say, I didn't provoke it in any way because I didn't even argue. I didn't even say anything, and I think that's what basically peeved him up.
Yeah.
Because I didn't argue, I didn't say anything. I just got up and went to bed.
What an ass! Absolute ass.
And I think that in itself sort of enraged him. And so to say, that was the last straw when he came up out of nowhere. He just opened the door, never said anything, just whacked me one in the face, didn't say a word, and walked back out again.
What an absolute ass!
And that was sort of, I'm going to phone the solicitors in the morning, and I phoned the solicitors, and by the time I'd actually been to see the solicitors, I'd actually left. Because he threatened me, you better not be here when I get home or else.
Hey, Mr. B.
Sorry, I'm going to have to quickly shoot off here and go make her lunch and stuff, but I'll be in the chat, okay?
Okay, then.
He's got a sex god.
Yeah.
What did he say?
What's he saying now?
He says, and now she's got a sex god.
I'm on about fireman, not me.
Hey, Crimson, talk of the devil and sort to appear.
Trying to set you up, Crimson.
Yeah, come in the panel.
Yeah, this is Crimson. Night Owl. That's Crimson. She's in Canada.
Yeah.
I will see you later, Jeanette, and I will see you later, Katie.
Okay, then.
Take it easy, you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. I've sent you an invitation, Crimson.
Wait for Crimson to come up because I'm not leaving by yourself.
Yeah, the Night Owl is in Canada, so she's even closer, and she's only 46. Oh, she says she's spoken to him. Ooh.
Just one conversation could lead to a night's dinner, and I'm going to leave it at that because I would have said something highly inappropriate further if I had continued.
Baby.
So,
just bring me my cake in and give Kate a quick sneak preview of my red velvet cake. She's only 45 minutes away from him as well.
Serious?
Yeah, she's put it in chat. I'm 45 minutes away.
Ooh, I bet you there's not 30 million spent in this wedding.
Deary Giggles says, do I hear another wedding? Well, we thought we were going to have a wedding with Mary Clenendon and what was his name? I forgot what his name were now.
Gerald.
Gerald.
Yeah.
So, but they've sort of not been, I think they exchanged email addresses. But
they exchanged email.
Oh, Barry says he can come in for a minute or two.
Yeah, I'm not. That's why I haven't left yet. I don't want to leave.
I've sent you an invite, Barry. I don't know whether you wanted it. I've sent you an invite via Hangout, so if you don't get it, you'll have to let me know, and I'll send it via email.
LOL. Not.
Cheery Giggle says, "Do I hear another wedding?" And she's put, "Not lol, not for a while." Ooh.
You provide the cake and I'll provide the entertainment. Yeah, there we go.
We see I can make the cake. Mr. Pete, baby, what? Just bring me red velvet. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I says, hey, are you going to bring it in? And he says, I can't to my toilet.
Oh,
oh, dear. And they were like a thing the other day saying, oh, so many percentages second marriages don't work. Well, I'm proving them wrong because mine's working and I'm on my second one. So there you go.
Yeah, just you rub it in. Where did you buy Pixie, huh? Which was it Amazon, eBay? Come on.
Emily in. We've got to come to Sheffield.
Is that where they're at?
Well, that's where I met Pixie.
Got a plan. Hi, Emily.
You know, it were same as I say. Me ex turned round to me and says, "Oh, you're that fat and ugly that nobody will ever want you. You know, there's only me that'll want you." But I proved him wrong because 4 weeks after I split up, I met Pixie. So
exactly.
And you know what else? I keep saying, well, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Exactly.
And Mr. Peace just shouted, "I told you I were a sex god."
Thank you, Emily. It's good to be back.
And Cheery Giggle says mental abuse. Yeah, it's the same as say it weren't just physical, it was mental as well. You know, when I couldn't go out anywhere, I couldn't meet anybody. If I went shopping, he wanted to know where I'd been, who I'd seen, who I'd spoken to. And there were many times I got invited out at night and he wouldn't let me go. So it weren't just physical abuse, it was mental abuse as well. And you see, this is why I'm so fiery and so guarded and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's made me stronger. It has made me stronger.
That's the thing, though, when you come on to Jeanette Pickering's channel, that you don't sit there and dwell on, you know, you're so good.
No.
You're so happy, and it's like,
you know, I went back to this the other day. I mean, you know, people see this, but they don't see the you know, the struggles that you have.
Yeah.
Health-wise, you know, and they don't know you until they know you, you know.
Yeah.
And Vicky and I always says too much information, Pixie.
Better wash them hands before bringing me in that cake.
Kate says you better wash your hands before you bring her that cake in.
No.
Oh, fantastic. Shit flavored then. What are you joking? Oh, look at that.
That is the red velvet cake, and as you can see, it's still fully intact. Nobody's had any yet.
Had a slice it. I can't wait to see you cut into that. You need to like cut one triangle out. That looks fantastic. Well done, you. That's a good job.
Hey, Crimson's here.
Doesn't it, Vicky?
Everybody.
And Kate's, Vicky says, exactly, Kate, she really helped me yesterday. Well, so as to say, if I can give one word of advice and help one person, then I've done my job properly.
Exactly. If I didn't have the advice I've had in the last month or two, I would have totally damaged my channel. I would have made my channel for the wrong reasons, a channel of just pure badness. So she saved me from ruining it.
Are we talking about how Jeanette gives good advice? She gives awesome advice.
She's brilliant for advice.
Well, I was talking to the night owl yesterday, and she's in a similar situation to what I was.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we sort of talked, and I offered her advice. And same as I said, if I can help one person out, you know, basically with my wisdom and experiences, then I've done what, you know, I've done. Is that the answer? No,
it's like mission.
It's Cheery Giggle says, "Is that the answer to the comp?" No. Wait till later on, and you will see.
I admire you trying, Cheery. I admire you trying. I've been waiting to try and scoop in there with the try.
Yes. Nobody but me and the Pixie knows the question.
Pixie, come here a minute.
And what the giveaway is. It's purely between.
I'm saying nothing.
Come on, please. You have a price. Everybody has a price.
It's more than his life's worth.
Hello, you. Oh.
I have an idea.
Oh yeah, right.
What it is.
Did you hear Pixie?
I have headphones on.
Pixie says the announcement is Jeanette's pregnant. I went, yeah, right. Hiya.
Oh my.
Kiva.
That exercise bike is doing wonders.
She'd have to do more wonders than that for me to get pregnant.
Oh my God, he's like, you better step your game up, Chris, if you want kids.
And Cheery Giggle says, I saw a twinkle in your eyes, though.
Look at Vlog from the Vog's face.
Oh my.
I know, right?
No, there'll not be no more mini peas coming in this household, I can tell you that. Not at my age, anyway. So
just think, you can give him a YouTube channel. Your legacy will grow bigger.
It's the cream pie channel.
We'll quickly, swiftly change the subject on little Mr. P's running about. Well, put it this way: if there was to be any little Mr. P's, it'd not be from me.
Well, I might have some.
Oh.
So, no, I think that ship sailed. Quite literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take the blue pills.
It's not that, it's my age.
Oh.
Plus, I haven't got the way with, well, let's just put it this way. I know it's too much information. I don't think I'm producing the right equipment to conceive.
If you ever want to like talk or anything, you can hit me up on Instagram. It's just Kate's Family Vlog. But yeah, you're more than welcome. But I'm gonna have to love you all and leave you all because I got to do mum duties. And
was it something we said?
She did say.
Yeah, I did.
Mel was in, and she says,
you know what it is, Barry? I can't sit on the panel and look at your beautiful face without my heart skipping too many beats.
Now I know you're lying.
Say when Big Red Bear went, she says, "Well, I'll wait for either Crimson or Barry to come on, and then I'll."
Yeah, I did hear that. I'm only joking. I did hear that.
And Kate, Night Owl is actually on Facebook as well. So if you wanted to,
okay, yeah, I'm part of the group as well. So you've probably seen me on there, Kate Wright. So you're more than welcome to hit me up with a friend request. So
are we...
yeah,
I'll see you later.
I'll see you, Kate.
Bye, Kate. Bye, Kate.
Bye.
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 So
well,
we setting...
was supposed to be coming on the panel because we're supposed to be holding the coffee morning. But I got a message this morning saying I can't do the coffee morning. Will you step in for me? So that's why
fair enough.
Trot.
Maybe I should do a coffee morning.
Yeah, but for you, it will be literally a morning. It'll be like early morning for you when it's Dave.
It'd be like 3 in the morning. I'd have to do it.
Mel came on the panel, but it was like 5 a.m. there, so we sort of.
And before that, it was 5 hours. I think it was 5 hours in, or 3 or 4 or 5 hours with Green Bay.
Mel was up all night.
It was with Green Bay Wacky and Cat.
Yeah, he was up all night on Green Bay Wacky's panel.
Oh dear!
I woke up and nearly both were. I thought, what time? What the heck?
And it was like an all night thing because I was working on a song. Right when I was finished the song and I uploaded, they were still on, and it was like 2-3 hours.
Yeah, like Jesus, don't they sleep?
Night Owl went live last night, and obviously Pixie had done the OBS thing, and we saw Night Owl's live. Well, I saw Night Owl live before Pixie actually went live, and I just said I'm stopping by to say hello, and but Pixie's going live, so if you're still on when it's finished, I'll pop back in. So that's what we did. So by the time we got to bed, it was nearly 12 o'clock, and we're up at 6 this morning.
You guys sound like my sleeping schedule. I get like 6 hours sleep, maybe 5 if I'm lucky.
What's a sleeping schedule? What's one of them?
I know YouTubers and sleep don't mix.
Don't mix, mate. It don't mix. I used to be, before I started my YouTube channel, we go bed at a certain time, I'll be up at a certain time. Now you got to finally shit it in, you know, you got to watch that one. Before you know it, oh, it's time to get up again.
And just to let you know that the giveaway is open worldwide, so it's not just for the UK, it's for everybody to enter.
Cool.
Want me to get this prize?
You know, you should have done
I'm going to compete.
Only one entry per person.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. No, only one
like
entry.
50 billion.
I made the stipulation, as everybody does. You've got to be a subscriber to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Stephen, we've got 2 channels. Does that count 2 for us?
Oh yeah, we do have 2 channels.
2 channels.
Can we do both channels?
but yeah, you've got to be a subscriber. You've got to comment. You want to win the thing, and there's a question.
Like a math question, like a secret math question. Like
no. Well, we'll be revealed later. There's just a question, and it is for people that tune in regularly to mine or Pixies should know the answer.
Oh, it's like cream pie or something.
All will be revealed later.
Straight in there, cream pie straight away.
No, we've got Kate there earlier on trying to. What's all that about?
Oh, my dog is calling me to go cuddle with her. I'm like, not right now. I just woke up. She's like on my bed where my like pillow is. She's like, ruff, ruff. I'm like, no, I'm on a Google Hangouts right now. I can't speak with you.
And Night Owl know it's not a trivia question.
What colour is your hair? What's
it's not the colour of my hair either. It's quite.
You'll find out in the video.
Yes, you'll find out in the video. And for people that know us and tune in regularly, should know the answer.
Exactly.
When should we use one entry?
What is Jeanette's nickname? What is Jeanette?
Second channel and enter.
I know what it is. What's Jeanette's nickname? Oh my.
Oh my.
I ain't got a nickname.
Mary Berry. It's
Mary. Marie. She says Marie's going. She's got things to do. Yeah, it's quite a simple question. Some of the people that have supported to my channel recently might have to go back to certain videos or whatever to find the answer out, but you know, and like Crimson and
so you're saying we have to there's a little bit of research with the question. That's what you're saying.
They just want to know what is your PIN number and your bank account details.
No,
please.
But like for you and Barry, you probably know the answer.
Yeah,
because you're
like,
you know,
we're good friends with you. Yeah.
Yes, but like certain people that watch us regularly will know the answer.
And the question is, where's Dave?
Hello, Dave.
Yay!
Oh, Dave's got his own advertisement on the television.
Yeah.
Have you seen the advert?
The whatever.
Tic Tacs.
No.
Okay, Barrel Boy Woods had a new upload. And it said introducing Dave. I nearly died.
I saw that. I did put on there. Hello, Dave.
Type in Google new Tic Tacs advert, and that's all about Dave.
All I can say is I've got a video going out tonight, which is called Star Wars of the Lambs. I did one last night about oh god, what did I do last night? I can't remember now. The Pet Monster one, Batman one. And yeah, next week I've got one ready to go for next week, and it's just called "Is Dave There?"
But yeah, there is a new Tic Tac advert out, and they all on. It's all about Dave.
Can I just say one thing? I just had the peach cola. It's crap. There you go.
Is it crap?
It's awful.
But you thought you'd try it just for a change.
Yeah. Bless you.
That's his
It probably tastes like cola with the weird, like, fake citrusy taste to it.
It's not even got a citrusy. I traced to the mango one. That's just as bad. And the answer and the question is from Jeanette: how often does Chris get up to mischief? And that is
it's always
his-
up mischief. So that's
once on his birthday, maybe twice at Christmas.
It's like, does Chris wear a night? How long and how high is Chris's nightgown?
Chris just goes all natural. He sleeps in the nuddy, Steve. How do I know? I've been spying.
They warned me about that.
No, all will be revealed later. So,
Jeanette's becoming the Illuminati.
Well, like Green Bay.
So yes, it'll be uploaded later. That's all I'm saying.
Did you about Green Bay? They're all saying about now Green Bay is part of the Illuminati now.
What is
I
it?
saw that on Rant Jams. Yeah, that was such a good Photoshop photo. I was so proud.
Aren't they having a back and forth thing about Green Bay don't like Rant Jams and Rant Jams don't like Green Bay?
They're all saying about everyone's saying about Green Bay's now part of the Illuminati, and everyone's going, "Well, you part of the Illuminati."
And he photoshopped like the Illuminati symbol on like a picture of Green Bay. It was just funny. It just looked funny. Like, and I looked at the picture. I was like, huh, maybe. Like, but I love Green Bay Wacky. He's a good channel.
Yeah,
I had to put that out there.
He's good. Just sometimes you go. The good thing about Green Bay is you can go on there, you look on there for 10 minutes before you go to bed, wake up, and he's still there.
Yeah. Well, you see, Rant Jams is okay, but basically, you know why people are there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
If you know what I mean, you know why people are going into Rant Jams because they know that.
Stop! Who said that?
It's all about the networking, and it's less about the person. Yeah.
You know, yeah, you know, it does promote channels.
Oh yeah.
But it is the old.
But that's what Dark used to do, didn't he? Remember, he used to do that every weekend. He used to promote everybody's channels, didn't he? At one point.
Yeah, I was like a host a couple times for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then Night Owl says it's okay. It's been fun, but I have to get my kids off to school. Hope I make it back.
Look out, Steve, coming round.
Bye, Night Owl. It was nice seeing you again.
Night Owl. She's going to come around.
Been going for 2 hours, so I'll probably not be going for much longer.
Coming around to yours.
Night Owl came and kept me bit. Night Owl came on my Final Fantasy stream. She was watching me play. I was like, wow. So Night Owl's a good supporter.
My randomness is in the house.
Oh, hang on a minute. What's Juice doing in? He's supposed to be doing the thing. Excuse me, Carl. Excuse me, Carl.
Yeah. Come on, Carl. Come on. Like, what's the excuse? Let's hear it.
I don't think it starts till the 23rd, does it?
14th.
Is it? Well, I don't know.
Vlog's calling you out, Carl.
Yeah, Carl.
You're not supposed to be on social media.
Come on, Carl. It's Ramadan.
It says it doesn't start till 2 a.m.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, you gotta get it in before you go.
It says 2 a.m. Wednesday morning, so
yeah, it does.
So you better. So I guess I should have you on Crimson Live before 2 a.m. I guess.
Yeah, because it's doing the old and they said rant jams.
Ramadan.
Oh, yeah, and they said rant jams.
He's doing rant jams for 30 days.
It's just the heat's got to me.
Yes. He's just getting his last fix.
Get his fix. Quick. Google, quick. Instagram, quick, everything done, quick.
Yeah.
Let's just hook up social media to my veins.
Yeah, and by the end of June, he'll be like this when he eventually gets back on.
Yeah, if you're anything like me.
Oh, that was me. That was me when I got my phone back and I was able to edit and stuff. I'm just like, yeah, like I'm like leaving the store and I'm downloading Smule. So like it just shows you how much I wanted to use it.
It's like Kate, she's been off since Saturday and they only got it fixed like late evening yesterday. And she went, oh God, she says, I ain't half missed a lot, you know.
Exactly. It's amazing what it's you know, what he's provided for us now.
Yeah, and
what we can do without it, or we can do without it.
I says, you know, you think how much you've missed in that 48 hours that you haven't been able to get the internet or anything.
Yeah, I said, no, when my internet went down, when they had to dig out the roads and they took the cables out. Was that I was out for like 2 or 3 hours? I was going.
If I didn't have internet, guys, I would be going to the library and doing live streams. Like, that's how much I love YouTube. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd be doing a live stream at, like, you know, McDonald's. Like, seriously. Like, you can't get rid of me.
Carl says, I've already got off everything else other than YouTube, but I was told by my Muslim friends that YouTube isn't classed as TV or music, so they say it's up to me. But they said, don't make yourself.
Stay, Carl. Come on, Carl. Stay on the dark side.
Join the dark side.
It's like, you know, I mean, our internet doesn't go down very often, but sort of on our modem, we've got 3 lights. And as soon as you see that orange light, Pixie's going, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, you know.
I don't usually have internet problems, but the other day I did. Like, we've been having really heavy storms, like electrical storms. Yeah. So it's just like, we had one this morning too, and the power went out again. Like, my stove is just flinking 12 o'clock.
It's like on this fibre optic, because we had a lot of trouble when we was on the normal internet, and they were having to go over other side and twiddle about with connections in box, and we had to have them out 5 times. And then sort of one engineers come out and he says, well, have you ever thought of going fibre optic, blah blah blah? So, well, no, not really, you know, we sort of just trundled along with what we've got, so to speak. So we actually rung Sky up and we says, well, basically, how much is it going to cost us to go fibre optic? But we did like we went like on the Sky Q. So that's like a fibre optic thing as well. And we actually got it cheaper because we've got the phone, we've got the television, and we've got the internet all through Sky. So because we'd had Sky for such a long while, and after a period, your contract runs out or something to that effect. Basically, because they wanted it or needed us to sign another contract, they says, well, I'll tell you what, you know, you can have this, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it was actually cheaper than it was previous to that. So we got quite a good deal, actually.
Good, isn't it?
And Carl says,
it's always good to get deals.
I want to see a day in the life of you and Pix. Well, it's not very interesting because I'm here all day on my own.
And this is Jeanette making another cake. And this is with her duster out.
Oh, dear.
Like, for me, it's like, if you guys want to see me, it's like you'll see my dad ordering me around in a job, and then I come back and watch your videos. So it's like, a lot of it'll just be a video of me watching your videos. Is kind of like a video within a video.
Well,
so
my sort of daily thing is, you get up, you put washing machine on, I wash pots.
Jeanette, can you make a suggestion? Put clothes on. Put clothes on. Don't put the washing machine because on it that gets heavy. Put clothes on instead of the washing machine.
But yeah, you know, it's not all that interesting, really.
My day.
And the highlight of my week is Pixie coming home for his dinner on a Tuesday.
Woohoo! Making the cakes. Oh my.
Oh, he says, oh, we could set you challenges, Jeanette, stuff out of the house, like a series called Jeanette Tries. Well, there's not a lot I can try, actually.
I would love to see that, kind of like a reality show where Jeanette has to look for clues all around the city. And she's like, the next clue's at the bus stop. So, like, yeah, that would be an awesome, like, little thing to do.
And what's there? A cream pie.
Well, you see, this
it's like underneath the bus seat.
You know, the thing is, in all truthfulness, I can't get about very much, and that's hence why I don't go out. Sort of, I rely on Pixie with the car and everything. I do try and get out. I go to the doctors. That's about the highlight. The only time I sort of go out anyway, and it's for the fact that I can't walk very far. You know, with the problem.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
No, we're only
exactly what you
joking
mean.
around. We understand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I could possibly make it to the end of the road, but I think that's about my limit. You know what I mean? I walk with 2 walking sticks, so I mean, sort of imagine the problems I have walking. You know,
Yeah.
I have 2 walking sticks.
I know, I know what you mean. Because sometimes I know your eyes are different, but when I've got the COPD, there's days when you just go, and I'll just get out of breath walking to the toilet. But then there's days I can walk miles, no problem. But like there's some days.
You like compromise. I mean, we go shopping. Like in our big Asda, they do buggies, if you know what I mean. So that makes it easier for me to go shopping.
Yeah.
Because I can go round in a buggy. But down at our little Asda, they don't have them. So what I tend to do is get a big shopping trolley, and I actually lean on the trolley to get myself round.
They do. I don't know if they don't. I thought they had the adapted one. So if you're in a wheelchair, you could use the. That's like they got the special adapted one, don't they?
Yeah, I could. Same as I say, but more often than not, when we just go down to the little Asda, it's just a short visit, and I just make the most of what I've got. I just, you know, I get a trolley.
Yeah.
And I push it, if you know what I mean, and that's my support.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But like the big Asda that we've got, they do have like mobility scooter type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a case of, you know, making the most of what you've got, really.
Exactly.
And Juice My Randomness says we need to bring the crazy to you. Oh God, I don't know about that. I've already got one crazy person. And Cherry Giggle says, what did I miss? I had to pop off for a second. Not a lot, really.
You miss Crimson getting his top off and Jeanette getting her tats out and me going, oh my.
So
we were dancing.
I do try, you know, when it's a case of when I do my housework, I do a bit, and then I have a rest, and then I do a bit. You know what I mean? I get through it. I do. You know, I make the most of what I've got.
So sorry, I just caught on to what Barry just said. I just pictured it in my mind.
It's just put Juice. Sorry, what does Muslim have to do with YouTube? I just came back to the chat. Well, basically, Juice My Randomness is English, but in support of Muslim friends, he is doing Ramadan, which starts tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. And basically, when they do Ramadan, you're not supposed to do so.
You're fasting.
Yeah, and you fast from 2 a.m. in the morning until the sun goes down in the evening.
Sunrise to sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're not allowed to have no internet. Well, you're not supposed to do any TV or anything. You're supposed to cleanse yourself of everything.
Yeah, it's like a month of detox.
Yeah, literally everything.
Yeah, everything.
No jiggy, nothing.
Jardale Entertainment TV, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, should I say?
So yes, Juice My Randomness is actually English, but he's doing it sort of as part of a cleansing process.
It's just to do the religion giggles. It's basically Ramadan. You're supposed to cleanse yourself of everything, any social media, TV, radio, everything. So literally, you detox your whole body and your mind of everything.
Yeah.
Do you think you guys could do it?
No.
I know I couldn't do it. I'll take my hat off to Carl for trying it. For good luck to him.
No, I don't know if I could do it. Like around like the last couple of days, it'd be like cracking. You know what I mean?
I probably could last a few days, but going the whole day not drinking no water or anything. Well, for that time being away, not be able to drink anything, even like a cup of tea or water. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, Cheery Giggles says she's Muslim.
All right.
So obviously she knows what we're talking about Ramadan and everything.
Go and see Juice My Random channel, and he explains it all what he's doing on his video. Is what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'd take my hat off to people who can do it in fast and stuff like that. It's like when I don't know if you like you, Jeanette, when you have to do like a blood test, and they say you got to fast for 24 hours for your blood. I'm like, no, I can't.
First thing you do as soon as you get back in, get that blooming kettle on. and
I'm
I'd say him sort of like, because we get up at 6 o'clock, and I'm having to make Pixie a coffee, and I can't even have a coffee. I can only have water, and I keep.
About 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I had to have the old camera up the old, you know what, at the bottom. And they said I had to literally get the old Fiberlax and literally crap it all out, should we say? My stomach was empty and I couldn't eat nothing for 24 hours. And it was on a Sunday. I was living with my nan at the time. And what did she do on a Sunday? A great big Sunday roast with Yorkshire puddings and everything. I could smell it, but I couldn't eat it.
Well, I'm going to tell you something now. You know, when I had my weight loss surgery,
yeah,
for 10 days, I couldn't eat anything. I could only eat, you know, these pots of jelly or low-fat yogurts. And I got to drink at least 4 pints of milk a day. So I used to have a milky coffee.
Yeah.
But that was it. Nothing else for 10 days. And I always say it was the worst 10 days of my life.
Yeah. Literally.
But the story behind that is you have to do that before that kind of surgery because it shrinks the liver.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And in order to get to the pot to your stomach to do the weight loss surgery, obviously you've got this great big liver in way. So basically that's this story behind that 10 days of just eating yogurt and drinking milk. It's called the milk and yogurt diet, basically.
The problem is if you've got to do that, what if you're lactose intolerant? That's the problem, isn't it?
Having said that, Barry, I mean, like, because they don't just sort of say, yeah, we're going to give you weight loss surgery. No. You have to go to all these meetings. You have to be evaluated psychologically as well.
Yeah.
You know, we're having to go and see like a psychologist and a dietitian, etc. But there is certain things that you can, if let's say, for instance, you can't drink milk or whatever, or you can't eat the yogurt, there is certain things that you can replace it with.
Yep.
And that's what they go through in this process. So you go into meetings, going to, you know, you sort of go to
like good alternatives.
Yeah, well, it's like you go to one-to-one meetings, you know, like on a personal level, and then they send you invitations to go to like group meetings as well. People that are going through the same journey as you have got similar questions, or have you got any questions?
I know what you mean, because it's I wouldn't want to do go through surgery, and I'm no good with hospitals anyway. Hospitals and me, even though I work, well, not working, I do hospital radio, I couldn't go in one, if you know what I mean.
And Carl says here, when researching and talking to my friends, some people during Ramadan give up social media and things that will distract them from their Ramadan goals and spiritual goals.
So it's an individual thing, really.
Yeah. But same as I say, that them 10 days, it felt like an eternity. I'm not kidding you. And what I used to do is, because you only sort of allowed a certain, I think it was 4 pints. So first thing in the morning, I used to measure my milk out, put it in a separate container, and I knew that I'd got to drink that amount throughout the day.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I was lucky. That literally was 24 hours, and the time I finished and came home, I went, quick, give me food, quick. I think it's the worst one. You go fast. Say you've got to do a blood test, or you got an appointment because you got to fast, and you go, oh, sorry, they're delayed for a couple of hours. You go, oh no.
But yeah, same as I say, you know, I mean, when you're offered weight loss surgery, you don't know a lot of the implications, if you know what I mean. Like at the moment, I've lost that much weight. I'm suffering, like I get sores because of the excess fat.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know, they do say to you, oh, well, it's like virtually impossible for you to get that excess fat removed.
But you can do it.
I didn't know that.
Surgery now. You can now. They can, if you get excess fat, you can. They can take it away, but it means more cutting and slicing and dicing. It's sort of.
I've also heard that, like, you know, there's operations that go wrong and like people like get paralyzed as a result too.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, when I had my weight loss surgery, I had the operation at 2:30 on the Friday, and by the Sunday morning, I was out of hospital. Now, there was 2 people on the same ward. I went into the, not intensive care, the other one, like high dependency.
Yeah, ICU and things like that.
Yeah, because it was such a complex surgery and everything. First of all, I went to the high dependency unit. Well, that was only like till the Friday evening. On the Friday evening, they transferred me onto a normal ward. I didn't have any complications whatsoever, but there was 2 people that had exactly the same operation as me and was having complications.
Yeah, everyone's different. Some people can go for it, some people can't. It's like any operation you have. You could have an ingrown toenail and have it done, and then you could have complications with that.
Yeah,
everyone's different. It's
you know, and funnily enough, because see, I had my operation on the 4th of December, and there was this one particular lady in, and I went for like a follow-up appointment at the surgery at the hospital, and that I bumped into that exact same lady that was on the ward, and she was in hospital 6 weeks due to the complications. And she says, like, oh, it amazed me. She says, you sort of came onto the ward Friday evening, and by Sunday lunchtime, you'd gone. You know what I mean? And she says, have you had any complications? I says, I have not had no complications whatsoever.
No.
You know, and it's just luck of the draw, just pot luck, really. You know what I mean? It's sort of nothing.
But like you say, sort of one, but whatever, like with the knockout gas, one person could be allergic to it, so they have to have something else. The anesthesia, they could have a reaction whilst under the anesthetic.
Oh, I have a story about that. My friend, she was coming to my house one day, and it was like winter, and you know the landlord never.
It's always winter in Canada. What are you talking about?
It is pretty much. But long story short, she broke her leg, and I had to take her to the hospital. And you know they put the stuff that makes her like sleepy and like all like out of it. But the thing is, she needed like the highest recommended dosage, and then she still wanted more, and she woke up before they were going to operate on her.
Yeah, it's like my other half. She's got this thing called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. When she had to have like or she has to have the when you have your teeth done, now what they put whatever it is, the needles they put in to numb you, she can still feel it. They put as much as they can, and she can still feel it. So they have to literally knock her out just to have a checkup. It's funny.
Exactly.
And just let Carl know I have accepted you.
Yeah, I've done Carl. Sorry, Carl.
On Google Plus. Well, going back to the complications. Now, this is a thing. My mum and my stepdad lived in Skegness at the time. I mean, probably Crimson don't know where Skegness is, but anyway.
No, that's a weird name, man.
It's up the north. Well, everything's up north where I am, but yeah, but go on.
Anyway, so when you get to a certain age, similar thing to what Barry had done, they send you for a cancer screening thing, like prostate, etc. Well, that entailed like, how can I put it?
Finger up the bum.
No, it started off, he had to get a sample of his stool.
He's number two.
Yeah, he had to send a sample of his stool to the doctor. Right. So then he had a phone call.
Like, how do you do that?
Well, when I had to have mine done, they gave you, like you get your set of specimen bottles, they get from the doctors, a little thing like that.
Oh my God.
And you get your thing like, and on the you screw it, and it's got like a little spoon on the end of it. You got to take the spoon is literally like a doll. You literally got to take a little sample of that. I'm going, and you got.
I can only imagine.
And you got to put it in there and go. Here you go.
Right.
Like I've had to do urine samples, and that was just awkward enough. I can just imagine.
Anyway, so he sent it off to the doctors. He got a phone call from the doctors. Could you please make an appointment to see the doctor? He went to see the doctor, and he says something unusual had come back with his sample. We're going to refer you to the hospital.
Hello, Ian.
So anyway, he goes to the hospital, and they sort of did the old camera jobbo, but they took a biopsy at the same time, and they found out he'd got a growth.
Night, Cherry.
See you, Cherry.
Night, Cherry.
So anyway, went to see the specialist, the consultant, or whatever you call him. Now, I've performed this operation, this specific operation, thousands of times. I've only ever had one complication during surgery, blah, 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 in safe hands. So basically, they admitted him to the hospital for this operation, and they did the operation. Day after he came out of the operation, they were feeling unwell, they were being sick, they were saying they thought it was a reaction to the anaesthetic. Didn't do anything about it. 3 or 4 days down the line, they were sweaty, clammy, being sick. They put it down to wind. Said they thought he'd got an air bubble or something in his stomach after the operation. Put it down to wind. Now, nearly a week later, it was going downhill fast. So they decided to investigate and took him back down to the operating theatre. And where they'd done a join, they hadn't joined it properly. And basically everything was leaking out into his body. And he ended up with septicemia. And 2 days later, he passed away.
Jeez.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah,
that
sounds like that's a painful death. It sounds like.
Yeah, but I was.
It were a situation where they were keeping him alive artificially till all the family got there, and basically we had to make the decision to turn his life support off.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's like to help with the pain, like they're in so much pain. It's just.
But same as we've said, there were no coming back from it because it was sepsis and it had gone too far. All his organs were shutting down and everything.
Exactly.
And same as we said, the kindest thing to do, and we was all in agreement because he's got 3 children, and me and my sister obviously were stepchildren. We all made the decision that it was, the right thing to do. I mean, I couldn't stop. I didn't want to stop because to me, that wasn't the person that I loved.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, there was an inquest, and basically it transpired in the inquest that the consultant hadn't actually performed the operation himself. He'd let a junior doctor do it.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, a lot of that, isn't there? Yeah.
So basically, my mum went to sue them, and same as she says, it wasn't for the fact of the money. She wanted justice for him.
Yeah.
He went in for a routine operation. The consultant told him he'd done it thousands and thousands of times. Only ever 1 or 2 cases of complications to the operation. He thought he was going in the hospital for a routine operation. Within a couple of days, he was going to be home, but he never came out. But anyway, my mum ended up having to drop it because the hospital had withdrawn certain notes from his records, and by law they should have made those notes available to my mum's solicitor, which they didn't. And it were basically everybody sort of
covering their own backs, weren't they?
Yeah, everybody covered.
Yeah, well, there's a friend of my other half. Well, her husband wasn't fitting to it, and he had an operation, and he all went. There was complications in that, and she wanted answers, and all of a sudden the doctors disappeared. They're taking him off sick. He's on sick leave, and the person who's supposed to be looking into it has suddenly moved somewhere else. So that person can't, and all the notes have gone missing all of a sudden.
It's a big cover up basically, and in the end, after 2 or 3 years, my mum were that drained emotionally and physically that she says, I want justice for him, but I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it were having a mental and physical impact on her pursuing it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So basically, she ended up having to drop it because, you know, she was suffering herself.
And she could have carried on, and she like you then after she passed away, you would have looked into it, and you'd probably still be looking now.
I mean, this is no word of a lie, Barry. I mean, when my mum passed away,
yeah,
there is boxes of stuff, like, you know, all the paperwork for it. There's boxes and boxes of stuff on it, and she kept every single communication for it. And same as you said, I could have sort of pursued it, but
you'd still be looking now.
Yeah, I'd still be looking for the answers now.
Yeah,
because, you know, they cover their own backs.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I mean, but you see, having had an inquest into his death, I mean, these things have got to come out, and it wasn't until the inquest that my mum found out that they'd let a junior doctor do the operation.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to all these appointments, and I've performed this operation thousands of times. I've only ever had 2 cases that were a bit complicated, blah, blah, blah. And they give you all this bump about, you know, and then they won't let a junior doctor do it.
I know.
It came out at the inquest.
So I was lucky when I had my camera. It's literally, because I say for a couple of months I was literally feeling bloated, and I was, just to say it wasn't good. And then he said,
well, this is the thing. I mean, I'm at a certain age now where I've had a letter. I've got to go on the 5th of June for the exact same thing. They do say, basically, they fill you full of.
Basically, went up there, they did the old finger test. I went, oh, easy, tiger. And then they put you in the hospital, and they you walk in with those stupid gowns on. I hate those bloody hospital gowns with your arse crack showing. And you lay on your trolley, and they pump you full of air, and you're going, oh shit, full of air. And all you want to do.
So
what?
Are you on your stomach, or are you
on
your back?
Side. You're in the fetal position. You're on the side, and they go on the side. And and they put these camera. They put you full of. It's full of air. And also, like you get bloated, you're full of air. You just want to really fart or let one go. And you're sitting there going, oh Jesus! And they're going, if you're going to go, just go. So I can't. But as I was laying on my side, they've got the.
They tell you that.
Yeah, it said if you're going to go.
I've had a leaflet, and it tells you all the details of what's going to happen, and it does say that they're going to. And I says to Pixie when I read this leaflet, I says, "Well, you do realise," I says, "I'm going to be farting for days on end."
And I was laying on my side, and I was in pain. But right next to me, I can see, because they obviously, when they've got the camera, they're watching the TV, aren't they? And I'm going, and I'm watching, going, oh, that's interesting. And I'm expecting to see the camera go one way and a turd coming the other. And it was like going, oh, that's interesting. And then they take the old snippet, they bring it out, and for days afterwards, I'm walking down going, fuck, I'm still, and I'm, like you say, farting for days. Going, Jesus, it's still bloody.
Because you see, here in
Barry, did you enjoy that?
Oh my!
You see, this is the thing. I mean, they send you an appointment and say, no, it's for bowel screening and whatever. But then they give you this booklet that comes with the letter and saying, well, we're going to do this to you and we're going to do that to you. Oh. Same as I say. First thing I said to Pixie, I says, you do realise, I says, I'm going to be farting for about 2 or 3 days.
As I say, nothing changes there.
Oh, you beat me to that, Barry.
Oh dear. But yeah, I says to him, I says, well, put it this way, I probably have that much wind, I'll be able to fly a kite.
They say, I was just about to say, sorry, Chris, I didn't realise you was eating your lunch.
Fly
a
kite. Oh my God, that was great, Jeanette.
Your sheets are up in the ceiling still because you're going.
See you later.
Bye.
See you, Chris.
See you later, Chris.
But yeah, I mean, it might be totally still outside, but in the Pixie household, it'll be wet and windy.
There'll be like all 3 of you farting. There'll be like a big green haze above the house, and you have the guys in the hazmat team going, "There's a leak around here somewhere."
No, you know what I'm picturing right now? Oh, sorry.
I'll say when all three of us farts. This.
You need your bag, Chris. Don't forget your bag.
Hey, this is no it. It went flying dirty yesterday.
I got my drone.
He didn't even take drone with him.
Oh my god.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Ian.
Oh, that's dementia right there.
Yeah, he says to me, he says, I think I'll take, because obviously it's been nice. He says, I think I'll take Dirty Gertie out for a fly. So he says, when
I was a personal support worker, I had to deal with someone with dementia and all of the stories.
Well,
we had to have like. No,
yeah,
I was just gonna say.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
It were going to a spot that we've been to many times, like in the Derbyshire countryside. So he says, I think I'll go there. So then I got a phone call and he says, I can't find it. He says, I must have missed turn off. So he says, it's, time's getting on a little bit. So I'd already made the cake bit of the red velvet cake. I just got to do the icing. So then I get a phone call and he says, I can't find that turn off anywhere. He says, I must have missed it. He says, I'm going to go to park, the local park where he normally goes. So I says, okay then. So then I get a phone call about 5-10 minutes later and he says, I've got an awkward question, Tasha. I says, what? He says, is my drone there? So I looked over, I says, yeah, it's over here. He went, oh, he says, I am a Wally. He says, I've come out flying my drone. He says, and left the flaming thing at home.
Oh, and he didn't realize until he was actually on the site.
It pulled up at the park and everything, and he'd gone to the boot, lifted the boot up, and then realised
that's great.
And then panicked because it wasn't there, and he had to ring me to ask me if it was still here.
Mind you saying that, I've done that with my camera when I've gone out filming with my other camera, taking pictures. Gonna take the picture, gone, oh shit, I left the memory card behind. And
well, Chris did a short live stream last night and somebody says, well, I've heard of people forgetting the cameras or the SD cards, he says, but not going out flying a drone without a drone.
It's not exactly like a small thing you can forget, really, is it?
And then he blamed me.
Well, one time I was taking photos outside and I had my bag with like my Nintendo DS in it, and I left it there, and I had to run back before somebody took it. So we've all done it. I
tell you another thing that happened as well. So this is a recurring thing. At work, he's got a thing that clips on his belt, and it's like a panic button thing. He's lost that now as well. I don't know where he's lost it, but the company can actually track it.
Yeah.
The security company or whatever that it's sort of attached to.
Yeah.
And they says, oh, we can tell you exactly where you lost it at such and such a place. So his mate's got it. Were up where his mate's gone to, because that's why he comes home on a Tuesday, because his partner that he works with goes to his mother's for an hour on a Tuesday, and obviously comes home. Yeah. So it's actually somewhere near where his partner's mum lives. So, his boss rang him and said, well, we sort of can pinpoint sort of roughly where it is.
Yeah.
So
it's in the van. He's left it in the van.
No, I says, you're not doing very well today. I says, one, you've lost your security thing, and then two, you went out without your drone. So I think it's a reoccurring thing.
Too much cake. That's what it is, Jeanette.
But you see, same as I said, it's
the lemon drizzle.
It's one of these that just clips to his belt.
Yeah.
Same as I said, because you see, his partner that he works with, I don't know whether he called in to see his mother or something. So Chris took advantage of that and got out of the van to have a cigarette, because they're not allowed to smoke in the works van, obviously. Yeah. And I think that's when he lost it, either when he was getting out of the van or getting back in the van. But it's easily done. So it could have dropped off his, because it's just one of these clippy-on things.
It's in the van. It's under the seat.
But that I'll have to ask him later on, see whether or not he's found it. But it sounds like his boss rung him and sort of roughly pinpointed you know,
where it was.
where it was. So whether or not he's got it back or whether he's asking his partner to look for it while he's visiting his mum today, I don't know. But, you know, I says, well, you're not doing very well today, are you? I says, one, you've lost your, what they call it, crystal ball or something like that.
Yeah.
It's same as I say, you know, like when working in blocks of flats and whatever,
Yeah.
You do get odd person that, you know, can be a bit violent or whatever. And it's just their safeguard in case they get attacked or anything.
Yeah.
And all he has to do is like press this button on this thing and it sounds an alarm at this security firm, and, you know, they get police or whatever out to them, and straight away, you see.
The thing happened to a friend of a friend. I used to work when I used to do gas and meter readers. I used to go in these flats, and in these brand new flats, all the meters are in a cupboard somewhere. And what one of these twat did, he unlocked it and went in there and something left the key in the lock. And somebody thought, if I laugh, let's shut it and lock him in. And it was like, shit. Luckily, he had his phone with. Luckily, he had his phone with him. But I was like the nearest one away. I was about a couple of hours away from him. So for 2 hours, he had to sit in this cupboard, dark cupboard, and he literally couldn't get out because somebody locked him in for a laugh. And we keep saying, he was told never leave your key in the lock.
Well, this is it. Same as I say. You see, what once upon a time when Chris first started working for them, they had this crystal ball, but they had it on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if there was a situation, all he'd got to do was press this like thing 3 times, but it were an app on his phone. And same as we said, things can go wrong with phones. Yeah. So just recently, they issued them with it. Well, it's a bit like shape of a pager, but it's not. And it's just a thing with a button on it.
Yeah.
So if sort of a situation does arise, all he'd have to do was press this button, and that, you know, it sounds the alarm at the other end.
Yeah.
And you know, it's basically what they call a lone worker alarm.
What you mean? Yeah.
So, but even though like him and his partner sort of work together, sometimes they don't. You know, Chris will be off one place doing something, and his partner will be off another. Basically, to get more work done.
Yeah.
But I have a question though. How quick does the security come?
Well, basically, if the alarm sounds at their end, automatically they phone the police. And because it's like got the device shows your exact location, they know exactly where he is. So
but I'm just saying, like, you know, like if you're getting rushed by like a bunch of people, it's like if you press the button, it's like, you know, like they need to be there within like a minute or two, you know.
Well, this is it. I mean, everything's not foolproof, though, is it? If you know what I mean.
Exactly. Like where Chris does, if he's in a block of flats, the police got to get to the flats, get through the security door, find out what floor he's on.
The same. I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
But there is like an intercom system in most of these block of flats, but they do have a special button for the emergency services.
There is a trade button, but in certain, like we've got one on our community door button. You press it, but it goes off after 11 a.m. So if you press it after 11 a.m., you can't get in. You have to press one of the flats in, or get what they call the fire brigade key, where they got the thing at the top. You can open it that way. So if no one's answering the door, you're trying to press all these buttons, and you're going, I can't get in.
But you see what Chris does is, to each building that they enter, they've got certain codes.
Yeah.
And there's only Chris and his partner knows these codes.
Yeah.
So occasionally they do change the code, but sometimes they don't tell them, if you know what I mean. So Chris is there trying to put this code in, and it's not working. So then he has to phone the head office and say, have you changed code to such and such? Oh, yeah. Well, you know, it'd have been nice for you to let me know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this is what I'm on about with, you know, communication. You know, they change the code, but forget to let them know that they've changed the code.
Yeah.
And then you've got Chris, because he's got a works phone as well. So he just gets onto him and say, well, he changed code to such and such. Oh, yeah. Well, it'd have been nice if you told me, like. But, you know, there's only them and the residents can get in. And they're not allowed, like, let's say, for instance, if they change the code and they can't get in, they're not allowed to press one of the residents' buttons and say, well, I'm can you let me in? They're not allowed to do that.
No.
So they have to ring the head office and say, well, look, have you changed the code? What's so, you know, it's...
Which is time consuming because then you've got to wait for them to find the code, which is wasted another 10, 20 minutes on Chris's day. And
well, this is it. And then sort of they do set on unrealistic time frames to get from A to B.
Yeah.
You know, they're you know, they're cleaning all over Sheffield, and like Hillsborough's one side, we're the totally opposite other side of Sheffield, and they sort of like give them 5 minutes to get from one end to the other.
No, but I say I've got a story about because my dad used to work for the ambulance service, and there's a crew. They literally just when they just put all the sat navs into the ambulance service, and he got a call from someone to go from where he was this side of the river, so say East London, to go south side of the river. They say, "Are you sure we're the nearest ambulance?" And they went, "Yeah, we've looked on the map. You're the nearest ambulance." And they go, "Are you sure?" Yeah. I said, "All right, we're on our way." So off they went, and they got a phone call about 20 minutes later. Say about, "Where are you?" We're on our way, but you should only take you 5 minutes there. I said, "No, we've got to go a thing called the Thames. We've got to cross the bridge called the Thames."
Yeah.
Went, oh shit! What they've got to do for the sat nav is put the Thames in for London. So basically, they thought one side to literally go straight across. It would take 5 minutes. They said, "No, you got to go across the Thames to get there."
Well, you see, this is it. I mean, half of the time they set unrealistic goals as how far it's from A to B.
Yeah.
You know, and they're expected to go from one job to another in less than 5 minutes. And it's not realistic. They can't do it.
It's not. But
right, I'm going to end it there, guys.
All right, then, yeah, because I want to get some lunch now. It's lunchtime.
I'm going to sort of get Mr. P's pots washed up and everything. And
don't do his bloody self, lazy so.
I don't do things like that. And it's not for me to do. You know.
Thank you again for having me, Jeanette.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's always a pleasure.
And it's been quite an enjoyable morning. We've gone through a whole lot of subjects.
Read everybody in, haven't you?
You know,
yeah.
Wedding, abusive exes, everything this morning. So I want to thank Crimson for coming in and joining us, and Barry, aka from the Bog.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yep.
Yeah. And
thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, Renee Unrated says she's almost at 1K. Well, we're just shutting it down, actually, because we're down to the 4 viewers, and I have been going over 2 hours. So I'm sorry about that. And we're not doing the Eurovision thing next year, Barry.
No, that was too. I literally just said,
"What did I
know?"
I know.
Hours of total boredom and.
No, like before my internet cut out, I was like watching a bit of it through the TV. I was like, "Oh,
yeah."
Like that's all I could say is just
stayed with it right till the end, didn't we, Barry?
Yeah. So literally at the end, I was going after I went off. I literally sat there and went.
Basically, we're debacle right from the start to the end.
Yeah. All right, Jeanette.
Yeah. Okay. Then I say I want to thank everybody for coming in, and I'll see you on the next one.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.